Welcome to the green room, everybody. And yeah, how'd you know, Kayla? I feel like I was on the fence about a couple of interrogations, right? Because I don't know. I was just like, oh, the 2000s just left me wanting. And yeah, I need something to get that taste out of my mouth. So we're not only that, but it's a little easier to make comedy out of old 90s commercials than it is from, like, murderers. So, it's a layup. What is up, Ryan Maxwell? Welcome to the party. Unfortunately, you showed up a little early because we like to be fashionably late for our parties, and you're in the green room. So just pour yourself a drink, find yourself a seat, open your obnoxiously loud snack, and soon the party shall begin. Hey, whatever snack floats your boat, they're all welcome here. And yes, you're welcome, Max Winglish. That was Cars, my version. We'll talk about it later if you want to get into it. Okay, getting ready. Here we go, people. Boy, that yellow jumpsuit. What are we talking about? The, you watching the slideshow, I assume? Sometimes those things fly even by me. Let's see. Here we go. Make sure I have the right thing set to roll. We're getting... yeah, so this is White Bat's newest playlist, and White Bat leans a little dark, and I don't know, I kind of like it, but it's not very 90s. The 90s aesthetic that we're gonna look for, so I'm gonna go ahead and get ready. You guys can buckle up, and we'll be right with you right after this.
This episode of FFOP Radio is brought to you by the Bathroom Cougar. Does this happen to you?
Someone's in here. Someone's in here.
With the Bathroom Cougar, scare off any would-be embarrassment before it has a chance to happen.
Oh, shit. I gotta get out of here.
The Bathroom Cougar. Available at Best Buy and all fine retailers.
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
and welcome to the show. My name is Dave. It's Flamingo Friday. It's FFOP Radio. You're here. I'm here. My co-host and producer, Krista, is here.
I'm here.
We're enjoying some homebrew. It's really sweet. It's more like a dessert wine, and I am not enjoying it because I don't like super sweet stuff.
I am enjoying it.
Anyway, enough about that, right? So as you can see, let's get some stuff out of the way here. Ryan Maxwell, winner of the last game. And a little pineapple sticker, because who doesn't like pineapple on their pizza? So I threw it on his name tag. Any other things to get off? Nope, I guess that's it. Yeah, think of it like this, Maxwell.
Co-host.
Co-host, like, remember when... Well, maybe you're young, so maybe you won't
Wasn't
get
Roz
this.
a co-host?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Roz from Frasier, but they were on the radio. I mean, it was
That's
a little
true.
different.
He wasn't on
I
there.
mean, and technically, you don't really need to look at me for this to happen. You know what I mean? So, hearing Krista or seeing her, it's all going to be the same stuff. Whether you hear and see her.
Yeah, and I was on screen for our Halloween episode in the yellow jumpsuit. So if you missed that,
That's true. Frasier, you know what I'm talking about, Maxwell. They're rebooting that. I can't believe how much shit they're rebooting. I feel like there's going to be another Friends, but they're going to have to, like, CGI what's his name's ghost.
if I like sweet wine, I should try the rhubarb wine from Cooper's Hawk. You're the second person that's brought up Cooper's Hawk to me. My coworker friend, they get Cooper's Hawk wine, but maybe we could just make our own rhubarb wine. I've never had rhubarb.
I'm not a huge fan of sweet wines and stuff like this. Like, this definitely qualifies as a dessert. It feels like the gravity is like 1.030 or something. I like maybe 10 points of sugar in this stuff. This is way too much for me, but whatever. If you want to talk about homebrewing, check out our second channel.
Yes.
That being said,
I'm here for the girl.
that being said, it's time to check back in with the 90s. The 2000s game show bummed me out so much. And then that giant pile of cards was sitting here, and I kept looking at it all week, or going, ugh, not all week, I guess just 2 days. But still, 2 days worth of looking at it going like, why wasn't that the 90s? Anyway, so now we're going to talk about not just the 90s. There's 80s commercials in here too, so full disclosure. You might see some weird hairstyles and or large collars, because I don't know how much 80s shit is going to slip into this thing. All right. It's on par with Welch's grape juice. Too much, people. I like it a little sweet, mostly dry. All you people with your sweet wines and your pumpkin spices and your other things.
Oh my God, my wassail wine came out so good.
All right, so buckle up, people. It's time for nostalgia. And if you haven't been through the 90s, like, as someone with a memory, this will be interesting for you. Because some of these 80s ones I remember, and it's almost shameful. Anyway, here we go. Let me get this blown up to full size.
Look at those legs.
The Shoe Spectacular.
Who's this,
Now
Payless?
it's time to step into the bay for exceptional value in fashionable leather footwear. 9 West.
P.S. These
Nine
are all
West.
going to be VHS strips, so I apologize for the terrible sound quality. It's all we had. Cassettes, people. It was tape.
And Hippopotamus. Versatile, wear with anything leather shoes. 4 terrific styles priced specially at a down-to-earth
It does-
$39.99.
It sounds a little bit like between the Venga Boys and, like, Trio. Like that band that did Da, 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 right?
Yeah.
Trust the Bay to bring you this kind of style
shins.
at such a
So, yeah,
spectacular
look at
price.
Working those
Want to step to
gams.
the front of the fashion line this fall?
This is the
Come
worst
on,
shoe
Canada.
commercial I've ever
Meet you
seen.
at the
The Jamaican flag?
The Bay.
Oh,
Who would
God.
have thought that anyone could improve this simple, effective aspirin tablet? But the makers of aspirin found a way with a patented micro-thin coating.
She never fell off.
Now, aspirin is easier to swallow.
How long do you think it took for humans before they invented aspirin to give it that coating so it wouldn't, like, dissolve in your
Completely.
mouth and be a bitter, horrifying mess?
It doesn't dissolve in your mouth. There's no bitter taste, no burning in
I
the
hope none of
throat.
the shoes fell off.
This simple, effective pain reliever trusted for years is now easier to swallow.
Thank God.
That guy looks like that character actor. He was in like the black and white version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and like that Dennis Quaid, Martin Short movie where he goes inside of him. He's the bad guy in that. Like I'm not sure I trust this guy. He also looks like he might take over a summer camp that Ernest might be working at to try to be a counselor at. A little bit of Peter Graves. Yeah, you got it. You got it.
He was in inner space.
Some people say that the
Kale
honest
said
old-fashioned
her conspiracy
taste will
theory is
always
that
be
you're
the
not letting me on camera until I say the shoe didn't fall off.
Yeah, nobody. Here's the thing. Yeah,
It'll never happen.
if you don't buy the conspiracy theory of Wollengate, you get to be on camera. If you get to flounce around town on the internet saying the shoe fell off, you're barred from the internet. At least on my show.
the best taste. That's why we make you tell the old-fashioned spaghetti sauce with honest-to-goodness ingredients and old-fashioned care for that honest old-fashioned taste. So people who say they can't make things taste like they used to can eat their words.
This is semi-hilarious because it's a stark, I mean, not a stark look. It's a lighthearted look at a stark situation where, like, the rich family up above, like, has their body of servants that live underground for 8 months out of the year. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. Watch any documentary about life in England from anywhere between its inception and now. And, like, half of the population is subjugated. The other half are, like, serfs. And then there's, like, a thin crust on top of the people who pay all that shit. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And mildly spiced garlic.
Now you know the real
and
reason I've never been on
spicy.
camera when I visit FFOP Studios.
Exactly.
101.
A year ago, the visitors
Wollengate
arrived.
weirdos.
Now, their evil mission has been discovered. They are not here to promote interplanetary peace.
Is this
These
laser
aliens are
blast?
here to rob
No.
our planet of water at the rate of 1 million gallons per second.
They
And
want our water.
they're here to export another commodity to their planet.
I've never seen a second of V. I thought you were younger than me, Ryan.
Saturday at 8,
The hell, how do
Monday
you
and
know this
Friday at
old
9
crap?
on CKCO TV.
CKCO. SUCK TV. Oof, that's an 80s commercial.
Look at those dolls.
Every piece of film, whether it be motion or still, from the 80s looks like this. Like every picture of me as a child taken from 1983 to 1989 looks exactly like this. That's the same patina,
Yeah.
the same wear, the same sort of noise level and grain. It's insane.
Is this best of the worst?
Yeah, we're gonna do Black Spine next.
Black Spine. Goldfish.
God, this commercial is way too long.
I wonder how long he had to redo that every time he'd mess up the C's.
You make good cookies.
Mrs. Crispy's
Jesus.
Crispy Crispies.
Can you imagine 4 new millionaires last month alone? Chances are there'll be 4 more millionaires after this month's draw. It's that super lotto that's doing it, you know. Anyone can win. All they need
Yeah, when your odds of winning are 1 against 1 followed by 14 zeros, everybody wins.
is a ticket, and they get four chances of winning
Oh,
$1 million. Are you listening? They'll be everywhere in this
Break his nose.
even in here.
Super Lotto gives you 4 chances to win $1 million every month. Are you
Oh
in?
my God, look at how old that looks. There's only one T.
You want to taste something great?
I don't know, man.
Prego spaghetti sauce.
Whoa, spaghetti.
Rich and thick,
He's going to throw that between his legs to his partner and his football team.
and it's got a great taste. just like you
CKCO
make it
TV's
home.
from
Prego,
Kitchener-
old thickened
Kitchener, Ontario.
Kitchener, Ontario.
Nice.
tomato paste. Not this. Starch.
Why do you have just a box of starch, sir? You know what? I was making spaghetti sauce, and I was like, you know what I'm not going to use? This box of starch.
Want to know another reason it tastes so good? Prego uses
Mom's
all the
love?
very same ingredients you
Tomatoes?
use at home. Prego spaghetti.
Prego and Ragu are like the bottom of the barrel garbage gutter sauces, but they advertise as if they are like Ferrari and Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Like there are so many, I mean, there's a million out there. There are types of sauces. You can find locally sourced stuff. And there's a million. So I'm not saying that all of them out there are shit, but Prego and Ragu are definitely shit. But they, like, if you were to believe their commercials, they walk around town with like ivory canes sticking out of their asses and silver spoons out of their mouths. But they're like, I don't know, the Pinto and the Corvair?
Ragu is made in New York City.
Get a rope.
It's how you make it thick.
According to Pace Picante.
When I got my real estate license, I thought I knew it all. But you have to keep learning, and you can't do it all alone.
The market, it changes.
So I
Who
joined
knew?
Century 21, and
We don't have
things started
computers
to
yet, so I have all these damn papers all over my desk.
For
My
me
kid's
and my
constantly
clients, with over
walking on them.
100,000 agents in North America and abroad, Century 21 has a world of
1760s,
experience. And the
baby.
industry's finest training program puts that experience to work in my own neighborhood. And that makes a
I had that
world of
lamp.
difference for my clients. Century 21, the largest real estate organization in the world.
And they're still around.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, 20 years later, can you believe it?
Your Texaco retailer isn't faster than a speeding bullet.
But when we speed up the
He
footage,
can't leap tall buildings in a single bound. And he's slightly less powerful than a locomotive. But when you need service, he's there. Besides, he's a super guy. Expect more from Texaco.
What? Will that be all?
You got a phone booth around here?
Have you ever had somebody pump your gas for you? Like a self-service?
no, I've never been anywhere where they do that, like even as an option.
I did once when I was 16 because there was one self-service place and I didn't realize it was self-service. And
You mean full service?
Full service, sorry. Full service. I didn't realize it, so I was getting out of my car. This kid, whatever, he was probably my age because I was in high school, comes out and he's like, you can get back in your car. I'm like, okay. Then my dad got so mad because somebody else was touching my car because he saw
There are some
fingerprints.
places where like you can't not have.
New Jersey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we know a guy, Billy Ledoux, if you're out there, he was a gas station attendant, and God bless him for putting up with that shit. Because whoa, like, yeah, whatever. It gets cold here and it's Arizona. I don't want to go anywhere else ever, basically, because it always gets too cold. And then you imagine like living in that, and then on top of that, the butter on that bread is like you spend 8 hours a day in a 2x2 square thing, hopefully, because the rest of the time you're out running around freezing your ass off, filling up gas tanks and shit.
Yeah.
Saying.
Bahrain and Dubai, they pump your gas, and New Jersey and Oregon is where they're illegal.
Right, there you go. I knew Oregon was with the other one. Crazy.
Today's lean beef.
Like, as if gas weren't expensive enough, then they have to force you to, like...
Do it yourself.
Like, well, not do it yourself. They got to force you to, like, have someone do it, and they got to, like, pay them, right? You can't just not. You're not going to be one of those dicks who just, like, yeah, thanks again for the gas, and again, no tip. It's got to be built into the price or something.
I assume. I tip the discount tire kid that pumps air in my tires when I get the air check.
That has nothing to do with gas. We're talking about spaghetti sauce now.
Protein.
Possibly soup.
Looking good beef.
Here's your chicken, Mr. Lou. Now, this ain't just chicken, Scarlett. Why, this is Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh, the best tasting chicken there is.
So let's have a really big hand for this really good-looking chicken. Made with a Colonel's secret recipe.
Who the hell is this guy?
He looks familiar.
This is not
Scary
Rich
Busey.
Little. Rich Little is way younger than this dude. This is an 80s commercial, and Rich Little is still performing in Vegas and has black hair. Like, this guy isn't even good at what he does.
Now listen, sweetheart, it's always there waiting for you.
You know, I can imitate a lot of people, but
damn
nobody
hose.
can imitate the great taste of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Because who else is there? Like, Churches isn't anywhere near this.
Jameson says that's Rich Little.
No, that's not Rich Little. It can't be. I've seen pictures of Rich Little. Rich Little is 85? But was he 85 in 1980?
No, he looks like he's in his mid-50s in that commercial.
Whatever. I don't want to talk about it with you guys.
Oh, I know what you mean. I've seen
Oh my God. How many commercials do we have to watch for families eat dinner?
All of them.
No, it's exactly the way I remember it.
Skinny tie.
And it's like these, if you're into like formulaic television, like House or SVU or any Law and Order, anything where you can basically sing it or hum it by ear, dinner commercials must be that for you if you like mass market media. Because like you know, the dinner always goes like either great the whole way through or it's rocky, but it always turns out good in the end, or like it's good and then there's a little bit like the all is lost moment, right? In like the Pillsbury croissant commercials where they go, everybody's having a time. They go, where are the crescent rolls? And there's like 3.5 seconds of real tense looking around, and then someone brings it in from the other room and they go, oh, thank God the holiday's saved. You know, I don't know. It's just maybe if they were longer, it would appeal more to my holding pattern formula, but it's like they're too short. And like, I don't know these people. Who's addicted to Vicodin and who's the one looking for the child predators?
Hello, Julia.
Spices.
What's happening?
Introducing Delizioso from Kraft. 9 classic pastas and sauces you can make in minutes.
No one makes pasta like Mom.
It's delicioso.
Say that again.
New Delizioso from Kraft.
Yeah, we can't afford Barilla, so shut up.
Has Polaroid got a gift idea this time? I'll bite. Their great new Smile Back offer. Buy a Sun camera or Amigo and you get a Smile Back in the mail.
You can't mail a smile.
Okay, they send you $10.
I'm smiling.
And with the gift, you can also give Polaroid Smile Insurance. They save up any 10 pictures that don't make them smile, and we send them a free pack of film.
But isn't it hard to get 10 bad pictures?
That's the idea.
Oh, some big old...
I'm touching you under the table.
Here's the thing. Yeah, James Garner. If you've ever owned a Polaroid, and I have and still do own many, you'll know that you can't take a good picture with a Polaroid. It'll never, it's a pinhole lens. You'll never get anything really, truly in focus because it's always out there at infinity. And that's the shtick of it, right? Is you have an instant look at a thing, and or if you're like a pervert or murderer, you don't have to take it to a 1-hour photo or do any processing that leaves a digital trail.
I still need to watch that movie.
I can definitely see why, like, you know, this is a horrifying thought experiment, but we also do true crime sometimes. But just imagine, like, when you see those, you know, they're blowing up the market. I'm sure, you know, they say they're aimed at teenagers looking to like get all memey and shit. But like, you know, as long as you've got a physical media with no paper trail, how many like weirdos are walking out with those Fuji Instax?
Tons.
Like, you know, filling a shoebox, if those still exist, with like evidence and or just straight up legal but dicey perversion.
Big offer.
Kayla made it.
They're cheap.
Kayla made a pinhole camera as a school project in 4th grade.
It's good stuff. Yeah, My Fellow Americans with James Garner and Jack Lemmon. I don't know if it's underrated. I think it's rated just about right. It's okay. Hey, these new kids, they love their what do you call like physical media? Oh yeah, the thing I've always been talking about that'll never go away. Hello. Like, whatever, look it up in some sort of article somewhere on the internet. There's, you know, kids, younger generations are like shooting film and going back to iPods and stuff. And it's weird, but I get it. Like, because you want to have something to show for it. It's kind of a bummer that everything happens on your phone. So the thing you do never changes. And so there's never any... You know, it is a pain in the ass to like pull out a DVD and watch it, but it is kind of like a reward at the end of that struggle instead of like scrolling through a million services and then just watching the X-Files again or whatever.
Where farming remains a way of life, a tradition passed on from one generation to the next.
Oof.
The island
mullet and cranberry farmers
for its quality and taste.
Those are the cleanest potatoes ever.
Farms brings you this
what dough do they use?
Fresh goodness.
Organic.
Frozen in a way you'll find convenient and easy to prepare. Cavendish Farm. Tradition,
some French fries.
quality, and taste.
We fried them in the oven in a bowl.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor
Don't shoot! I am Ricky.
is out of luck. Out to lunch.
I don't like my roaches this way. I like my roaches sauteed.
Outspoken.
Freeze, Jack.
Out of his mind.
It's a robbery.
And totally outrageous.
You're making me nervous. I've had a busy day, you know.
Richard Pryor in Some Kind of Hero.
Starts Friday at a theater near you. Consult your listing.
Duh. It's today's Friday.
Movie trailers back in the day were so hilarious. Oh my God.
Sweet. I'll say,
I'm Rex Purcell, and I grow oranges for Sunkist.
I'm Rex Purcell.
Here's my old wife. She eats oranges all the fucking time.
Really sweet and really juicy. Turns out only about half my oranges are good enough to earn that special Sunkist stamp. So peel one, dig into it.
Where the other half go, I'll never fucking tell you. It's none of your business. And frankly, shut up.
Pop it into your mouth. It squirts so sweet and juicy, you'll want to sing too.
That's another thing we were always doing in the 80s was singing, apparently. We were singing the Oscar Mayer Wiener song. We're singing about Sunkist. Everything had a jingle we were singing all the time as we ate. That's why we were so thin compared to today.
For the shine of your light.
Something I have to constantly dust.
Here's something that annoys me about, why don't people who make commercials, live in reality? Because maybe this does happen and I'm the out of touch one, but I've never given or been given a gift, so big that I wondered how it got there. And on top of that, there was a giant comical bow on it, whether it be a Lexus or an armoire like we just saw. Who... Again, maybe there are people, maybe you in the typing square have had someone, you go to sleep Christmas Eve and you wake up to some crazy thing built in your living room and everybody's fresh as a daisy and you wonder how it happened and there's a big bow on it. But does it?
The other half gets tossed up to the garbage by our wasteful food production.
Oh, yeah, they don't. If it doesn't get A quality, they make pigs eat it or something.
That Richard Pryor movie came out in 82.
Yeah.
Every time you want to shine, put a shine in your light, a glowing shine in your light.
Whew. Little pain in the assy.
I remember simpler times.
Do you?
The smell of fresh baked bread.
If it were the 80s and you're remembering this, you would have to be 120 years old because this looks like the 1880s. And then you're, 5 here, so let's say, you're 120 years damn old.
Oh, Jameson says, jingles are great. I still remember, if you like butter, you'll like butter better. Bringles better butter in a can. Oh la la.
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
There were so many, and everybody knows the Juicy Fruit one, the Big Red one, Dr. Pepper, Bubble Tape had a big one if you were a kid back then, but yeah.
Kayla said, when I was about 4 years old, I had a plastic kiddie pool waiting for me under the tree with a big comical bow on it. Didn't get to use the pool until halfway into the spring, but it was memorable.
Right, but that's a different kettle of fish. That's just a plastic pool that easily got slipped in through a door. That guy did not move that 800-pound wooden piece of whatever. And on what planet or where was this guy hiding this Lexus and also keeping it from the other person or whatever? And then who's moving it? Do you just have a bunch of nice friends who will take an IOU for pizza and beer later?
Just cheddar. And if you're like me and wish things today were as simple and tasted as good,
you'll start denying vaccines.
We are very lucky because we've got Cracker Barrel cheddar.
Ugh.
There's 81 years of tradition behind
I like Cracker Barrel.
I do not.
From Kraft.
Cracker
Silver medal skater
Barfel.
Elizabeth Manley returns to her home and a tumultuous welcome at the Calgary Olympics.
It tastes like
and all
puke.
the news at 11 on The World Tonight.
Finally, now we get to know about the world.
Happy now, that's the way. Saving money's gonna make you happy today.
Shoppers Drug Mart helps you say Happy Halloween with Nielsen Junior Bars, pack of 16, just $1.99.
Look at how ugly those bags are.
It's nobody cares. This commercial has no rhyme or reason. Why are these people singing from a coupon book in a white void? Everything is the tobacco sunburst, but muted. There's no reds and yellows. It's dark orange, tans, browns, and turds. It's terrible.
And you're going to be happy saving on a wide assortment of Halloween
Cracker Barrel
costumes,
cheese is not
masks,
good.
and
It is
makeup
good.
right
It's
now.
just cheese.
Drug Mart.
Oh yeah, B. Arthur did
B.
a ton
Arthur.
of. Yeah, I remember seeing that. I remember watching her fly in one. I think with Macaulay Culkin or something. It was crazy.
Money Saver sales on now.
And that guy was a character actor from that time.
Babu from Seinfeld. Is that who Jameson's referring to? I don't know who that is from Seinfeld, so I don't know.
Has grown from one store.
Not usually
to over
Seinfeld
1,000.
fan.
Our success stems from one single thing: our customers. Thanks, Canada, for coming home.
Canada.
Thanks.
Here's the thing. Context is a big part of life, right? Because you can have foreground and background. And that little black and white reel of photos that we just saw, like, if I were to take that reel, remove that music, and put in, like, you know, the music they put on during, like, Cold Case Files or Forensic Files and have Peter Thomas talking under it, you'd think that all these people were dead and that it was like a killing spree going across Canada. And yeah, just because I changed the music right under it. Like, this could be like, these are their last known photos. But no, you know, at the end they hold up their bags and it's Canada and they say pasta and they, you know,
eat poutine.
They have Molson and Tim Hortons and all that other good shit.
Thanks, Canada.
Canadians.
Let's have a party, an all-star party.
Okay, maybe that's why
Whoa.
it's extra weird for these commercials. It's
They're
like,
all Canada.
Yeah, it's like not only is it the 80s, and those are already weird times, but it's Canada, which is going to be a slightly warped, weirder time. Not in like a bad way, obviously. It's just there are cultural differences where we on the bottom, you know, in the middle of the sandwich between South America and the upper North America. Not the middle north, because that's us.
The middle north.
But the way upper north of America.
The upper middle north.
We go, ooh, what's going on up there? You guys are weird. And then we watch your commercials and we go, that's weird.
Party. The great new children's record
Like
from
this.
KTEL. Look, there's Pac-Man.
It's like Dream Bunny,
You'll
but
hear Fat Albert
without
and
a
the
bunny.
Junkyard Band.
You'll hear Fat Albert.
Do you
I don't hear
remember
Fat
Raggedy
Albert.
Ann and Andy?
No.
All-Star Party. It can be lots of fun. Available on LP and tape, and it's in stores now.
God, what a horrible commercial. This is where the prostitutes are.
Such a stark difference in commercials now.
Where's Popeye? He's not on it. He's not cool enough. They had like, you know what, we could do Popeye or Raggedy Ann, and Raggedy Ann was too cool. And then Pippi Longstocking almost made the cut too. The girl with sharp teeth. Pontiac sucks so much.
But the song.
And that's just, you know, because Pontiac is part of GMC. And remember when Chevy was the heartbeat of America, or Chevy heartbeat of America? They ripped off the same font where they said the Pontiac the heat is on. That was the Chevy. Like, hello, it's like the Dodge Neon, Plymouth Neon debacle all over again.
Ontario's going Dutch.
Oh my God.
Amstel, the Dutch brewer of Amsterdam,
Amstel.
now has their first Canadian brewery right here in Ontario. And they've brought along over a century of tradition to create a new Amstel beer.
Just Stacy's real Pontiac? Okay, there you go. That's the last nail in the coffin.
Dutch, the best of both worlds. Go for an Amstel beer, a refreshing new taste in a lager. New Amstel beer.
You know, God bless you weirdos out there who like to drink fermented grain beverages, but what the fuck, you guys? Ugh.
The Canadian lager with the Dutch touch.
The Dutch touch.
Be part of it all
Dutch.
this fall with CKNX TV.
Where is my ketchup?
My old night ketchup.
Where is my ketchup?
My old night ketchup.
Is this idiot blind? He's like, okay, number one, I don't want to pick apart the commercial just yet, but let's just talk about how dumb this kid is. He's like the pickiest eater in the world. He would be on like an episode of Sally Jesse Raphael where he's like, my kid won't shut the fuck up about French fries or whatever. But why does he keep sitting down in the same white void at the same white table and like, look how big this bottle is, right? That's a huge bottle of ketchup and it's glass. So it's an old-timey bottle. And then he like slightly moves the fry plate around being like, well, where's the ketchup? And then If this is what you were looking for when you slightly pushed the plate aside, what were you expecting to find there?
And
right?
P.S. It's open, and there's no
the mom just opened it. He gets a fresh.
I know
because he gets a fresh one every time.
I didn't. Exactly. That's even worse. So you can tell on the top when she opened it, there's no like ketchup anywhere. So she didn't shake it. So that guy's got to get water all over his French fries.
But no, he's got this. This must be in some sort of perpetual motion machine, or maybe she drops one of those pills in it that keeps it swirling. No, this kid is spoiled to shit. Because look, the ketchup is all the way to the top, and I swear to God, whatever he doesn't put on the fries, he probably takes to the head like in a fucking boot chug challenge. And he goes through like, what is this? 1.5 liters of ketchup every day after diligently looking under his plate for something that's relatively tall, comparatively speaking, compared to the plate. There he is again. Oh wait, let's look under the plate. Mom, I come here every day and drink a gallon of ketchup. Where the fuck is it? 2, why is this sheet hanging behind me in the kitchen? This feels like Mom is just waiting for the day she's finally had enough, and she blasts him in the head with like a 357 and then wraps him up in that sheet. And when the dad comes home and he goes, hey, where's the basement's
Bobby.
empty. There was all that ketchup, and now we're no ketchup. And our son, he's gone.
Some things you change.
Mile High ketchup.
Some things you don't.
Where is my ketchup?
Heinz ketchup. Every time.
This kid breaks a bone a day from malnutrition. Whoa, the Turbo Graphics 16. The latter-day re-release in a tiny console on Amazon, God willing, is still up there. Its comment section, or its questions, is one of the funniest things I've ever... I took screenshots of everything everybody said in that that question and answer section about it, because it was hilarious. Like, somebody started a joke, and like everybody read the room fucking perfectly. Great moistness. Hey, hop into our balloons and we'll take moistness to the It's moist!
Stop saying it.
There's your
where's
ketchup.
the ketchup?
It's in the middle of that last cake. Where's the ketchup? Oh my God, this kid's got some problems, but they're like, put him on camera. Oh, look at that hair.
No child left behind.
The cross-eyed eyes of it all. This looks like,
Hey, don't hate cross-eyed people. I was cross-eyed when I was a baby.
What's this kid's name? He was a monkey. Mickey Dolenz.
Make your cake taste even better.
Yikes.
With Duncan Hines creamy frosting.
It's
I don't want
moist!
something going wrong a year from now.
Top quality merchandise is the cornerstone of our business, and that's why the Bay is able to guarantee our customers complete satisfaction.
Wasn't the Bay the shoe people?
I don't have to worry about what I'm
The Bay
buying.
does everything,
I don't know why
Krista.
some stores put their customer relationships at risk.
I want to know that something's going to last.
Keeping our customers happy, that's why we have the Bay's blanket guarantee.
This is another thing that now that I'm seeing it as an adult, I remember seeing a lot of, is like customer talking, high up someone in the company talking. It did not last into the 90s, or if it did not last very long. But so much time was spent like with CEOs of companies for fast food or this sort of shit, where like customers like whatever, and they're talking to camera, right? It's like those fucking dumbass misplay commercials where like party A is talking directly to camera, party B is talking to someone way over here and making gesticulations, and nothing is lining up. And the boss is like, we'll make a deal and you'll be guaranteed happy about it. We're the Bay. And I'm like, oh, I'm looking for something to last. And he's like, I understand your concerns. Thank you and good night.
It comes down to
dude.
feeling good about where I shop.
If you're not completely satisfied, we'll exchange your purchase or refund your money. I guarantee it.
He stole the Men's Warehouse thing. But again, where was he looking?
To myself, would I like him to get a little
Cardi
closer?
B? Is she
And
married
then
to
I think,
Offset?
yeah, I'd like him to get a little closer.
Making
That's when I'm glad I've
gesticulation.
got
You'd think the
every
censors wouldn't allow that on
And touched up like
TV.
this before embarrassing
Sounds like the good doctor.
How dare you? How dare
well,
you?
only in your impersonation of the CEO. being the robot.
Very reassuring.
Oh, maybe then.
And it contains one of the most effective anti-wetness ingredients. So, if you like...
I think you have some sort of hernia. I need a pen.
It's getting closer.
I'm the good doctor.
Get every extra drop. If you don't start...
What is this, a Velveeta pie?
Crust,
Oh,
you
God.
won't end up with a great pie. Introducing new...
Extra dry. That's what I want. I want a fucking cake that comes across. What's the opposite of Duncan Hines? Like... There's no such thing. What's the opposite of Duncan Hines?
Dusty Pines.
Dusty Pines. Yeah, the driest cakes. Just like all these kids, like, just shoveling sawdust in their mouth, and they give a little thumbs up to camera. And they go, dust and moths fly out. Like, what's her name's boyfriend from Hocus Pocus?
Tender flake frozen pie shells. Ready
Billy.
to bake pie shells guaranteed to bake
Look at all
up
that
light
sputum
and
she's
flaky,
pouring in there.
Because
That's probably
nothing makes
peach.
it flakier
No, it
than
was
Tender
lemon.
Flake.
Oh, yeah.
New Tender flake frozen.
Look at this little girl. She's like, this is not good.
Can we stop this commercial?
Great pies start
Pecan Sandy.
Pies.
Once again, we're asking,
Oh.
do adults eat Kellogg's Rice Krispies just for the fun of it?
Snap, crackle, pop. That's for
Where's
kids.
my wife's face?
Are they doing it for the flavor? They're doing it for the nutritional value? It's like white powder.
We eat
It
it for
isn't
the
drugs.
7
He's
essential
like
nutrients.
unhappy.
Besides, Rice Krispies has a history, a heritage.
Why does he
I mean,
have a
it's been
whole
around
head and
since
she
what?
is all
1928.
not?
1928. How many of
This is like a Dr. Katz style or like home movie style. It's like semi, I don't want to say avant-garde, but it's like not usual. It's like the New Yorker style. This guy's voice you've heard a zillion places in a million places. You know, whatever. It's like sort of trying to appeal to like maybe someone who identifies it as an adult, but not like a stodgy adult.
Yeah.
His wife's
other
dead. No one
breakfast
told
foods
him.
have
She's
that
a
kind of
ghost.
history?
Toast.
Toast.
The ancient Romans had toast.
Yeah, but it doesn't make funny sounds.
It doesn't make funny
Frou-frou is the
sounds.
word I was
Didn't
looking
just say
for.
that?
Okay, maybe.
You probably weren't listening.
Face on, more like face off, right? You guys, did you check out the newest Sloth Fist album? Let me show it to you. My color wheel stuck to it. Bombs Away. There's a song about Castor Troy and Jackson Pollock. Not Jackson Pollock. Something Pollock. What's his name in Face Off? There's a song about Face Off on that album. Sloth Fist is the official band of FFOP Radio.
You would know how to fix this raw throat cough or stuff up nose, would you? Sure, here. Try a Halsman Olympus.
Paul's vapor action cools and soothes.
It's burning my hand. What's in this thing?
Raw throat helps
It's kryptonite
relieve annoying
flavor.
coughs, makes nasal passages feel clearer.
Pollock's Troy? No, it's Castor Troy and Pollock. Something Pollock? Colon Polyp? Sidney
Colin
Pollock?
Powell?
No, you're not getting there. Take this acid. Nicholas Travolta. Where is Eric Daniels when you need him? He knows what I'm talking about.
So am I.
Face Off.
With vapor action, now in black currant.
Take this acid. Hello, Thomas. It's been a while since we've seen your name pop up in the...
Thomas Maloney, the Ellie Cahoney.
Brand new nasal spray. Tristan, long-lasting mist.
Why is he looking around as if he's like breaking some sort of law?
Because why would you do that in public?
What, take nasal spray?
Yeah.
So you can breathe. No, that's like brown tar heroin. It's not quite black tar. He's like got it aerosolized up in his nose. Pollux was Castor Troy's brother. Okay, so who's the other one? So it's Castor Troy and... Why can't I remember both of their names? People, help me out here.
1 minute
There's
later,
the wing.
better already. Calgary, breathing clear.
Sean Archer?
Sleeping.
Sean Archer, thank you.
Definitely not what you were saying.
Well, Pollock and Castor Troy, they're both characters, but Sean Archer and Castor Troy, they get their faces swapped, and Nicolas Cage is there, you know, smoking his cigarette without a face. And he makes the doctor put a face on him. Smoking, no face. You think that would cause some irritation. Allison, don't let it happen again.
Damn it, Allison. Thomas says, I always want to watch. I just somehow missed the notices. But tonight I was waiting like the lion in the Serengeti.
Yeah, here's the thing. I know it's annoying, but if you're gonna watch like live style shows, it is nice to hit that bell because like when baked salmon goes live, I gotta know.
Montreal still breathing clear.
Speaking without lips, doing a lot of things without a lot of stuff you need for a face, like smoking. How are you? Like, forget the speaking without the lips. How is he drawing the smoke into his lungs with just teeth? He's like, like no one heard that like horrible sucking sound like a Duncan Hines moist ass cake. Come on,
Son
people.
of a gun. I never would have believed it.
Now I do because I'm addicted to heroin.
We know. We know how. We know how you.
Is this Red Lobster?
Yeah, it said it at the beginning.
Oh, totally missed that. $6.95. I bet that's like, holy shit.
$1.95 for a kid's meal.
I now get why my grandparents and my parents constantly wanted to tell me how much shit cost back in their day. Because I wasn't watching commercials and I didn't believe them. But now being old and having the ability to look back at my childhood, I can tell myself, whoa, you used to pay that. And I don't have to annoy anybody else. Here's the thing, old people. No one cares how much you paid for your shit back when. It's over.
Right, it's not happening now.
I get to look at it now, but like, what
say shrimp? Just checking.
I love shrimp.
Only at Red Lobster.
Fucking
for the
cheddar
seafood lover
biscuits.
in you.
I was like, throw the food down in front of a kid. He like grabs a piece of non-seafood and throws it in his face.
Yeah.
Ivan, sent by the ambassador to buy a sensible car. He chose the new Toyota Corolla SR5 hardtop.
This is an Addams Family episode.
Edition of the world's best-selling car. He knew the ambassador would like Corolla's dependability and its modest operating costs, but he couldn't resist the sporty styling of the hardtop.
I just want old people's marrow.
Hey, no shit. Corollas will last. I've had several Corollas. I've got a Corolla now. Put 90,000 miles on it. It's 2 years old.
A sports car, Ivan? No, a sensible red Corolla.
Looks nothing like a sports car.
Hardtop.
Hardtop.
Finally, a hardtop for Soviet Union. What was it? Canada's Jack Nicholson? I don't know.
Kale says, I do a lot more for a cheddar biscuit than I would for a York peppermint patty. I love York peppermint patties too.
You people and your fucking biscuits.
Denture adhesive. It's easy to apply. It cushions and holds denture
Squish.
firmly in place so you can choose
Now, as long
what
as
you
your
want
top, the top of your jaw, your maxilla is glass and dry, it'll stick.
Rare. With Super Polygrip, you can forget.
I'll have the never-ending corn platter on the cob, please. Me and the missus here got some chomping to do.
The soft option.
Soviet Russia hardtops you is exactly right.
There may be no reason to leave.
Doesn't anybody remember Yakov Smirnoff? Like, holy shit. I feel like on ABC on Saturday morning when they were having those animated, those claymation, rather, interstitials between the commercials where it was the 50s doo-wop singers or the hydrant and the dog or the cowboy or whatever. Like, Yakov Smirnoff would have like interstitials in there where like he would tell a quick joke and he's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And they go, and then we would just move on. In the rush to the bathroom, Cougars, you rare.
Who doesn't like a cheap
Cool.
Would it still be paradise?
Ryan loved Yakov.
It was an interesting character. We were in love with different maybe not ethnicities, but like different cultures move through America like corn through someone who can't digest corn very well. Because like, Paul Hogan came, we had like a big Australia thing for a while. Like after the Cold War sort of warmed up and we were opening up to that, we had a Russian push with like Yakov Smirnoff, and like there was a movie I remember really enjoying called The Ruski, in which like, it was a heartwarming story about a Russian soldier in a small town and learns how to love, not being Zionist.
Trapped on Pitcairn Island, and they forever lost their ability to fly away, burning their boats, both man and nature, from Pitcairn to Easter Island, next time on Nomads of the Wind.
Nature continues the Pacific adventure tomorrow night at 8.
I watched A Country Mile of Nature when I was a kid.
There's only one thing for a muscular pain, my lord. It's a deep massage. That's what your lordship needs.
Drop your trousers, my lord.
Charged with running massage parlors as disorderly houses.
100%.
This week on Mystery, Rumpole and the Judge's Elbow.
To your average British jury, the expression massage parlor means only one thing. Hanky-panky, my lord.
Really quick, here's the thing. The British in general are so fucking stuffy, and they live by so many rules and regulations and like codes of etiquette, spoken and unspoken, written and unwritten. Sometimes it can be too fucking much. But oh my god, you know, I have to give it to you sometimes because like, you know, I loved Are You Being Served, and that shit would not exist without like an implied, if not overt, class system and a bunch of rhetoric and bullshit and rut mentality and a lineage of an empire, all culminating into people who like have to be whipped practically and be timed by the second to like work at a clothing store.
Yeah. Ever seen Moscow on the Hudson? Robin Williams plays a Yakov-style character.
No, but I remember hearing of it and seeing it, or not seeing it specifically, but yeah, I remember it existing. So there's that.
This is why they rebelled. They kept giving us shit for deep tissue massage.
Yeah, right?
Was that Robert Kraft?
Sunday night at 9 on Channel 17.
No idea.
The Mystery of the Rubbed Elbow. Mystery. God, that show makes Matlock look like CSI Miami.
And made this world seem right. Only you can make the darkness bright.
What the hell is this a commercial for? This is making me uncomfortable.
The magic that
Doesn't this feel a little bit like a Neil Breen movie?
Yes.
Like a preteen coming on to you in an inappropriate way and you don't have any recourse because you're being forced to sit through this?
Polygrip.
I took a picture of milk. Milk? What the fuck, you guys? Like, in the last 30 years, most of Milk's commercials have been shot on a stage like this with a painter's tarp on the bottom and the top. Like, they had the Got Milk ones that got a little bit creative, but all the ones from like this down to earth one, more or less, even though it's like a Nagel style milk painting and it's a little whatever, mostly on like a set like this. You remember there was the commercial where like it was the kid and he's talking about drinking milk, and as he drinks milk he like grows taller and he gets a bunch of muscles.
Oh yeah. And
then or like he'll drink it and something else happened to him, and then like the last one he drinks it, his head turns into a balloon and he flies away with it. He's like, milk, it does a body good. And I'm like, what the fuck? But still, it took place in this same like sheeted room. Milk must own this studio. And they use it all the time.
It's just the Milk studio. The Milk warehouse. Look at it. Does a body good.
Does.
Hungry for apples?
We're living like we should.
What the hell?
Look at us.
Lean cuisine.
Oh my god.
Lean cuisine looks good.
Lean cuisine with less than 300 calories.
Canada's getting lean.
Beautiful food and a delicious menu plan you'll love.
Lean cuisine.
Stouffer's puts delicious in every dish.
They're coming to McDonald's
I'm glad that was not an American commercial because I'd be embarrassed.
any way they can. They're even flying in because everybody wants a Garfield of their own. 4 Garfield collectibles in all. A different one each week for $59.
Yo, dude, I remember these. Here's the thing. We had locally, there was like you've probably seen a million shops like this, but it's not necessarily a thrift shop. It's like a privately owned thing. They get a bunch of garbage that might as well end up at a thrift shop. It was called Toys, Books, and Treasures. And I was in love with these Garfield McDonald's toys, and I had them all, but I would constantly lose them. So there are 2 parallels in my life. These Garfield toys, because I must have specifically this red Garfield with that pink shirt and the red scooter, bought dozens over the years. because I would lose them, find them in another Toys, Books, and Treasures or some other Bookmans or whatever, and I'd grab it and I'd say, never again will I lose it, only to lose it. Same thing with, and maybe you've seen them, they're about this big, those turn-of-the-century glass piggy banks that are clear but pink, and they don't have an opening on the bottom, so if you want your coins out, you either have to break it or you had to like shimmy your coins back out with a knife, but there was no way out. I've had dozens of those too. I put them in the same category as my Garfield scooter because I would just find them, buy them, swear every time I found them and bought them that I would never lose them or break them or whatever again, only to, etc., etc.
9 cents.
Listen to the man. This is important.
Garfield, everyone's favorite feline. 4 different kinds of fabulous fun.
Just the thing for when company drops in.
The scooter was fun too. I love the scooter.
Garfield collectibles, 59 cents each at McDonald's.
You only think you bought a ton of those Garfield toys, but the reality is you bought the same one over and over. The store would steal it from you and resell it.
I mean, it's entirely possible.
Yes, I do remember those Taco Bell Chihuahuas that would speak when you squeezed them.
Do you guys remember when I think maybe it was Wendy's or something, but like when the Jetsons movie came out, possibly they had a bunch of Jetsons toys and they had like in their little flying ships, they had the whole family, and I had the yellow one. I was flying it around out the window. My mom was like, "Don't do that. You're gonna drop it." I was like, "Don't worry about it. I got this under control." She's like, "If you drop it, I'm not stopping." And I go, "Don't worry about it." And like it slipped from my hand, and I look, and I knew she wasn't gonna stop because she told me a million times, and I was just like, I didn't even buy. For a second, I wanted to ask to be like, "Can we just please?" And I was like, "No, there's no way. It was gone."
The typical cereal is a monotone
Raisin barf.
flakes. But Quaker Harvest Crunch with raisins and dates is a whole symphony of
Raisins and
dates? It's a hat on a hat.
Dates are weird.
Dates taste like big raisins.
But they're a little worse. When I was pregnant, I used to, like, when I was getting close to having our son, I would eat, I forget how many dates a day were, like, good for whatever, but I had to dip it in peanut butter in order to eat them because I could not, like, stomach eating 4 or 6 dates a day.
Bad dates.
Crunch.
No ticket, right?
A symphony of good taste.
What are you going to make with those Lego bricks?
What are you going to make with those Lego pricks? Grandpa, they're not pricks. They're CEOs and the CFO.
Not yet, Grandpa.
I can't get dates in my cereal or in real life.
I don't think so, Grandpa.
Talk about it.
Not yet, Grandpa.
You can buy your kids
Try an
a
Arabian
Lego building
Bazaar
set for 59
for either.
cents with any McDonald's sandwich or chicken McNuggets, fries, and
God, doesn't this look like a small dollhouse version of the food?
Yes.
It seems like the scale's off and it's weird.
drink. There's a truck, a plane, a helicopter, and a ship. A different one each week.
It's a good time.
You guys know how this shit works, or maybe you don't. It's the 80s. How new is this? I don't know. Remember in the 60s when you were tricking you into taping garbage to yourself so you'd be reflective at night? That's Halloween. Who does speak like that?
Almost every place you go, east and west, there's a taste you'll know, and so more and more.
The family reunion, we like to get drunk. 4% alcohol. Pathetic. 5.
Blue has 5.
Here's the thing. I'm willing to be open-minded, right? I'm not like a stingy old miser who won't be like, no. I'd be like that stodgy kid who's like my kid who you go, you want to try some of this? And you go, no. I'll try it. Here's the thing. Like, yeast do their thing, and they like sugar, and they love to eat fruit, so it's easy to get booze out of stuff. The fact you have to, like, boil grains and do a bunch of shit to it and, like, you know, make a big deal out of it so even to make it palatable to the thing you want to eat it so it'll crap out something so you can drink that is so far removed. I can't. You guys who want to drink grains, do it. I don't care. If you like the taste, good. Right. Someone's got to drink them, I guess. But what the hell? I still don't get it.
Are those the same people who drink White Claws now?
Yeah, in the winter they're up there drinking blues, and in the summer they're down in Cali on the PCA drinking White Claws. The one guy owns a sombrero.
In 1983, Chrysler launched its drive to be the best.
To kill deer.
To lead the industry in product quality.
Yeah, we almost did it, right, folks?
Front-wheel drive technology. More powerful, fuel-efficient engines.
I mean, it was the
Longer
80s.
warranties. Events that have changed the very shape of driving.
Like what? What did Chrysler do?
It does look like a horror movie.
And will take you further than you ever imagined.
The didgeridoo makes me think of the Outback commercials when Paul Hogan is Crocodile Dundee. Those were confused commercials because, like, they got Paul Hogan to be like, yeah, the Subaru Outback. And so you go, oh, is the Subaru an Australian company? No, it's Japanese. So they were like, hey, Paul Hogan, you want to pretend like this is Australian? And he's like, from money. Throwing a didgeridoo CD with every car. What didgeridoo don't you get behind the wheel? Chrysler of Canada.
You know there's no trick to making spaghetti sauce with just tomatoes.
Here's the thing, maybe I'm now, since we're seeing so many spaghetti sauce commercials, I'm remembering too many spaghetti sauce commercials, but I remember seeing a lot of spaghetti sauce commercials, like, growing up, right? Mm-hmm. Like, was there
It was a whole thing.
Am I outside? Like, is that crazy? Was there a lot of spaghetti sauce commercials? Because even with outside of Prego and Ragu, there were other ones. And then when they started spinning out into, like, oh, what's that white shit? Alfredo and stuff?
Well, I think it's the mix of pasta sauce and pasta commercials that are mixing everything together.
I don't know. It's just crazy. But, like, it's like when Krusty was a show for the Canyonero. God, do I love the Canyonero. But holy shit. Yeah, every other commercial is fucking pasta. And you know what's crazy? Even though this is Canada, they're saying pasta as pasta, whereas when I went to Canada, every actual Canadian said pasta.
Oh.
And pinata. Every A was ah. Where are you from? And I was in Canada.
But add peppers, mushrooms, onions.
It's like the console wars were like the early 80s, and by the mid 80s, it was like the tomato sauce wars.
Italians were officially declared people in 1980, and their tomato sauce hit the market.
Oh, hot damn. It took until the 80s? I thought the Irish made it like by the 40s.
Garden vegetables, chunk after chunk of vegetables.
Whoa, so many chunks! What, huge chunks of carrots into your tomato sauce?
I've never put
like a real Italian bolognese with huge chunks of like garden fresh carrots.
Recipe. New garden recipe from Lancia.
Look at how terrible that like the art on that label is too.
Put everything we've got into it.
Oh, until the Rocky films, that makes sense.
Only a few of the things
Looks like
we eat
ketchup.
today have been around for a long time.
It's Italian ketchup.
Basic traditional foods like bread. Like
Yeah, any chunks
and
back
if you
there?
wanted to, you could still make them the same way, even using the same ingredients.
Grandpa, you're home. Please take off the paper hat and go to bed.
You can't say that for everything you get on the market these days. Butter has always had wholesome goodness and great taste.
Butter?
There's nothing like it.
I could have swore this was going to be a bread commercial.
Yeah.
And why was he wearing like a fucking bellboy hat in his own home? What the hell is going on?
This man's been dead for 40 years.
Look at all the mullets. It's the mullets versus the brown socks.
Tough to clean socks.
When you've got the tough stuff, get out the best stuff. Tide. Tide gets the tough stuff cleaner than this brand, than any leading brand.
What other brands? We'll never tell you because fuck those guys. I'm going to tell you.
You'll see the clean all through your wash.
Hey, Champ, everything clean.
Hey, guess what, Mom? I don't care. I'm living my greatest mullet life.
Stop calling me champ. I'm 12.
To get the tough stuff cleaner, trust Tide.
Oh, P.S., Mom, also, I don't care if my fucking gym socks are white or whatever. I've got friends in a 10-speed. Super Nintendo.
Discover
elements.
new worlds of adventure with the modern world's greatest explorer, Jacques
They get
Cousteau.
challenges in court. Yeah, that's why. Ooh, better than the competition.
Travel with Cousteau through the eerie wreck of a Spanish ship held captive by the sea for 400 years.
Held captive?
Explore the hidden sculpture of a glacier. Catch a rare glimpse of the graceful beluga, now doomed to certain extinction. And watch.
So one thing that always blows my mind a little bit when I watch old commercials is like there will inevitably be something like this for either old nature programs from PBS or the Jacques Cousteau or National Geographics. And the promos for it are almost like beat for beat the same promos for the same shit we see today. It just feels like every 2 to 5 years, somebody goes, oh, we need another cheetah documentary for PBS. And they'll basically flip the script around and they go, move this word, that word. They go, oh, Serengeti on Nova, PBS, here's a cheetah again. And you look at the fucking commercial from 20 years ago, it's like that cheetah's parents.
Right.
And the narrator's saying the same thing. And you go, well, what are we learning? I've watched a million of these and seen a million documentaries about the Serengeti or the grasslands or the jungle or the Amazon rainforest or the whatever. I keep going, maybe this one will be the thing that like tells me that something's new. But it's like, no, it's the same. It's like it's a jungle. They get 70 inches of rain a year.
Sea Lab live action
As
movie.
Cousteau's crew
Remember
risk
Sea
their
Labs?
lives to
Sea Lab 2023, yeah.
Yep.
save a baby
Or is it
whale
2023?
and return
That's
it
now.
to its mother.
Was that what the show was called?
Yeah, 'cause it was back in like
Cousteau's
99.
rise from the
Okay.
deep.
I couldn't remember what the number was.
Thursday night at 8 on Channel
Like
17.
Star Wars movies.
I like our Halcyon water mattress because I get a great sleep. You'll sleep much better.
Look at our cats.
On a Halcyon water bed.
You gotta insist
A
on
water bed with cats? Is that a good idea?
All the, like, I don't know, man. Like, the fact there's no people in this is weird, but the fact that it went from, like, your first studio apartment, there was, like, no decorations in there, to now it's like, this is definitely where someone would be, like, handed a Mai Tai with a little extra something in it and then waking up a little confused and, like, not sure what to do the next morning.
Uh-huh.
Halcyon 9 years. They got one of the chalet, too. Insist on it.
Like, that's where your grandma died in that last one?
To the difference in a Halcyon water bed.
Halcyon doesn't make all of Canada's water.
Mulder has a water
My
bed.
grandmother had a waterbed. She lived in Globe, and it was the bed that nobody slept on regularly. So when I came up to have sleepovers, it was the bed I got. Waterbeds suck. I don't know why people like waterbeds. It was billed to me as a child to be this great thing and be fun, and after you get over like the sloshing and stuff, it's mostly just annoying.
My parents had a waterbed when my mom was pregnant with me. I can't imagine being pregnant and sleeping on a waterbed because I would probably barf. There's no
They're
way.
so strange because every time, like, because now the biggest thing with all the memory foam mattresses is like the person you're sleeping with can like kick their legs and do like, the fucking stanky leg or like, throw some cardboard down and do some breakdancing. And the person next to them won't even spill their wine and they're also asleep.
Which is false because we have one of those and...
Right, but moral of the story is, like with a waterbed, you can't get around that. Anything you do will send literal waves throughout the rest of that shit.
You breathe and it moves. Yeah, memory foam mattresses absolutely destroy the waterbed. Yeah, I mean...
Exactly.
They don't leak.
Yeah, we saw Mulder do that, and he got stuck into like a Groundhog Day situation.
Yeah, so we watched it happen 16,000 times.
Stadium affordable Ford, Winnipeg's finest, folks. Buy your
Hilarious.
next car truck. Giant Stadium Ford.
$49 down, people.
So cold there.
Like this truck right here. 1983 Ford F-150 pickup, brand new, cash buy.
Here's the thing, like, not to pick on like the shooting style, because a lot of times if you're working on a skeleton crew, or like you'll notice in our videos on our other channel, there's not a lot of camera movement because there's only two of us, so we have to set it up and lock it, and then but like with digital editing later, you can do a bunch of cutaways. Like, I feel bad for all these people, and like this dude probably shot this commercial himself. He got the VHS camera out, he set it up, he's screaming to get the onboard mic to catch him. And there's no dynamic movement. There's no nothing. So I get it. It's just like, it sucks though still.
There's no way doing the dirty was enjoyable on a waterbed.
You've got, I mean, we don't have to digress into that, right? But like, you need to have something. Like, here's the thing. If you, the principle of a gun, right? You need to have something to stop the energy from moving one side. So to push the bullet, like there's a, what do you call it? I don't know if it's an urban legend or if it was on Ripley's Believe It or Not or Unsolved Mysteries or some shit. But some hillbilly like blew a fuse in his truck, and instead of finding the fuse, he was out hunting and stuck a .22 caliber bullet in between the leads, and it worked because all you need is a conductor. But the problem was, since it blew that fuse, it was heating up, and the bullet, the powder ignited and shot him in the leg. But it was false, because when the powder exploded, if the cartridge doesn't have something to push the powder forward, it just goes pow, and they fly apart.
The waterbed is what our parents are talking about when they say they grew up harder than us.
Probably, because here's the thing. I've never had sex in a waterbed, but I imagine you'd have to be like rocking the boat pretty hard to get through the 16 to 18 inches of water to find purchase on that box spring or whatever of it to get a little lift off to go and do another. You know what I mean? Like
Swan dive.
One of those scooters where you got to do the wave motion. What am I talking about?
Payment buyers, you give us $49 down, only $269 a month. Where do I sign? Call me right now.
Where do I sign?
3851 Giant Stadium Ford.
Oh, look at that font and stuff.
Crazy.
Whoa.
She rubs soy sauce in her hair. Whoa! Changed the voice too.
Because Body on Tap has got beer to make your hair fuller, shinier, beautifully conditioned. Beer is rich in protein, and Body on Tap shampoo is made with 1/3 real beer to give your hair body to spare.
Yeah, it's Pabst Blue Ribbon, and it's the shit that, like, it's the dregs on the bottom that no one wanted. It's highly oxidized, and, whatever. It's a little skunky, but you're putting it in your hair, bitch. And P.S., does it work for your hair? Is beer a good idea? It's the 80s. Science doesn't exist to this extent yet, so yes.
I don't think it's around now. But now I'm curious.
How'd your lawn fare
My
over the
hair's
winter?
an
Need help
alcoholic.
getting it in shape?
Is she washing
Come
her
on
hair
in
with
during our
beer?
home green
Some.
update. Handymen know now's the time to get rid of weeds with
Grease's
Killax
Gorilla
from
Glue in
Green
his hair.
Cross. 500 milliliters, $4.88. 1 liter, $7.77. See our
Get a whole
lineup of
liter of
Milnor
glue.
products, like this spray-safe pressure sprayer.
Not for nothing again, but look at this cropping. Like, it's unpleasant. Stills or videography, you don't want things to be cut off or like all this extra room over here. If you're going to put this on the product and not over here in this huge canvas you left for, I assume, this shit. What are we doing here, people? Canada?
$34.44. Good value. And if you need some good advice to go with it, well, that's free.
Well, that's fuck you. We don't give that.
Home Hardware, home of the handyman. Yes,
the handyman can. Thanks, Canada.
Hey, I've traveled so much that my luggage has its own frequent flyer club, and I guess that I'm pretty well recognized wherever I go. But in a medical emergency, it's not your face you want known. It's your medical condition. Any facts about your health that would be important for the doctors and paramedics to know in case you're unable to tell them yourself, and that's the job that medical...
Like, let's say you're in the mob and you're chasing the luckiest man in the world after he took you for 100 large in a poker game. And now you've got Mulder and Scully on the case. So you got to kill this guy, but you also need people to know that you've got a medical condition and that your liver could possibly save the life of the child of the man you're trying to kill.
Kid.
Medical alert.
Medical
I
Alert
was
does
literally
so
just
well.
going to bring that up.
Believe me, if I had any medical condition, I'd join Medical Alert and wear a
If I were afflicted by some other condition, Bing Crosby, is he dead? Probably.
Medical Alert bracelet.
Hey, it's Rich
Got your
Little.
medical facts
It's Rich
from the
Little,
24-hour
you
hotline
bastard.
to call for all your medical data. And what a great feeling to know that the
I was
bracelet
there when
protects
medicine
you
was first
anywhere in the
invented.
world.
You can go to
From
the
Singapore to your own
UK,
backyard.
Korea,
Call now for your
Jamaica.
Medical Alert bracelet. Could be the most valuable jewelry
Angela Bassett will take your call fresh off the set of the Addams Family Values.
you'll ever wear. And you can even get Medical Alert protection for a friend or relative.
Look, this looks like one of those stands you'd find at like a fucking flea market in the middle of nowhere in a
Yeah.
parking lot.
To join Medical Alert, call 416-481-5175 or write 293
Canada.
Eglinton Avenue,
Wow.
Toronto, Ontario, M4P 2Z8 Canada.
What's up with your addresses, Canada? I don't get your shit.
Do it now and do it for life.
Oh, for the rest of your life, which is what, like 18 months to 36 months? Campbell's soup? Molson? Hometown Heroes? What's going on? God, they're like all clones of each other. They have the same haircut and mustache.
Nope.
Look at all the dad stashes. Hey, remember that time we all didn't have mustaches?
Hi, I'm Gail Farrow.
Hi.
I'm Ron Anderson. We'll be hosting the Lawrence Welk Show this week.
Holy shit, the Lawrence Welk Show. Unbelievable. I can't believe I have a reference for this, but like when I was late teens, like 18, 19, into my like 22 era, I worked at an old folks home, assisted living complex. They all loved Lawrence Welk. I could not believe that shit was still around when I was a kid. And then, God knows when he died, but the reruns probably go off into perpetuity. But like, culturally, that has to fall off eventually, right? 2004, damn! It is kind of funny also that like this was considered like acceptable entertainment. I don't know where else you would today find like, of course there are like kitschy shows like The Masked Singer or whatever, like Dancing with the Stars or whatever, but that has like a built-in thing. It's like a nobody or a washed up star or whatever, so there's a gimmick. This is just like a variety show where a bunch of people come on and do their thing and we go, oh yay, so you get like a song and a dance number and you go, well, that was a pleasant evening. And if you're 65 and we got a a clutch full of Werthers, I imagine it would.
You're out at 8:30.
You'd blow your nose in your handkerchief and you go, Harold, that was a fun evening. And he'd go, what? And you go, not again. Never mind. And then he would just drive home in silence.
Bob Hope lived until 2004, not Lawrence Welk.
Right. No, Benny Hill and Lawrence Welk are not in the same category. So that's like saying, no, I won't take the water. I'll like Sprite. So much pain in my sinus cold.
Meth.
I had no idea I had 8 sinus cavities. Barely feel like I used 4.
Number 19.
Yes, it looked like Take on Me. I was like, God damn.
It was in his head.
Chanel number 19. Confident. Chanel number 19. Devastatingly feminine.
Devastatingly.
Number 19. The outspoken Chanel. Aren't you curious about a fragrance?
A fragrance so good that it won't even distract your man from horses. Like, even when you take your hat off to reveal you're a woman in that classic, like, I'm not a nerd, like, whatever. She's all that. What was that movie?
No, I have no idea.
Whatever. There's a million. For the nerd girl takes off the glasses and she wasn't a nerd girl, but like, what? Like, dude wasn't even interested. Like, you had to pull him away from the race, and even then he's like, come on, bitch, like the horses.
You have to forcibly kiss him.
Exactly. Thank you, Charlie 19.
No dishwashing detergent,
Oh,
not
gross.
even the leading national brand.
Who's the
Cleans your
national
glass
brand?
Better than Electrosol. No
Ooh,
dishwashing
the power of
detergent,
electricity.
Not even the leading national brand. Cleans a plate better than Electrosol. And even with those great cleaning credentials...
Why is it the leading national brand then?
Electrosol costs less than the leading national brand. When it comes to big-name dishwasher
The
detergents...
Cascade, they're the big
none
money.
clean better. None cost less than Electrosol.
I bet I had a dozen shades of rose blusher, and I was still looking for the right one.
Clarion makeup.
So when I saw the Clarion computer, I thought, great, it'll tell me the perfect rose. Turns out my best...
I used the makeup computer by using a single keypad with 9 digits. That's like how I find an air filter at an AutoZone. Like, if you can go like beep, 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 and it's like just push like some numeric digits, and it's like, yeah, you're looking for a KB 417 air filter. It's like, oh, well, I'm looking for, the fuck, bitch? Like, what? They have a person?
Best colors don't have a rose in the bunch. No wonder I was never satisfied.
Clarion, ultra pure
Thank you,
makeup,
computers.
personalized for you.
Look,
my
any
first
makeup
blushes.
can put roses on your cheeks. This one tells you when they don't belong there.
Puts daisies on your black.
Clarion, you look so good, he won't even notice you at the horse races.
Exactly.
You have to wear Chanel number 19.
Yeah,
It
you
still
can
is
look
questionable.
and smell invisible in the 80s.
Time to start anew. Morning is Maxwell House time. Maxwell House and you.
Say good morning with
That
the
weird bowl of
Ricardo
apples.
Montalban.
Maxwell House.
It's Richard Little.
That's Rich Little.
That rich, full-bodied
The tiniest coffee cup ever.
This is what he was doing after Captain Kirk left him on that planet.
That's always good.
I drank coffee out of a tea mug.
The only thing, or rather, the only time you'll see this is in commercials, but maybe weirdos do it, but people drinking like black coffee out of a glass mug so you can see the beverage. Like, I see why you have to do that in a commercial, but who the fuck is doing that? Like drinking a 10-ounce glass mug of just black coffee and like laughing with someone as it steams up your glasses. It's fucking crazy. This is dark. The complexion is loud.
Somebody's on a real tight budget.
Somebody's got a muffler wall.
Somebody needs a friend to turn to. I know where to go.
Medicare. I mean,
Look at this pipe.
but here's the thing: that like, no matter how cheap your muffler is, like the first shot we saw was like you at the prescription counter, like sign up for Medicare Part D.
Not bad. Lot less than I expected. Hey, babe, wanna go to the drive-in tonight?
Ooh. Have an apple. That's your tip.
I mean, somebody mentioned apples earlier, and here they are coming back.
But you have to paint more often, because the paint scrubs off when you wash it, right?
My parent drank all my paint. Is that a problem?
Right.
That CIL Silex Super Latex Flat is terrific. Room looks...
P.S. Why are you constantly scrubbing your walls? It's just you two and a
Parrot poop.
bird. Like, is one of you just like super happy with the crayons?
Great. And see, only the dirt
Like, all people want to fuck.
Guess I take the bargain back, huh?
See you later, Bill.
Hey, watch it, buddy.
On sale at Sanderson's Pro Hardware, St. Thomas, and Millbank
Brenda, I
Home
hate
Care
your
Building
parrot.
Center.
Seriously, get the thing out of our fucking
Sales
house.
manager, condition, headache.
Broke our waterbed.
Seems to settle in right across.
In the head area, with my head, it aches.
I would be concerned that it wouldn't do the job as well as the pain reliever I'm taking now.
And I refuse to tell you who that is, so don't ask.
Because I was instructed or I wouldn't get paid.
To deliver really effective relief, yet it won't upset your stomach. How do you feel?
My headache is absolutely gone.
Someone's working for the mob.
How did they schedule this interview during one of his headaches?
He just shows up when he has one.
They're like, hey, man, we're going to man this studio 24/7. We usually shoot milk commercials here. Run on down.
Next time I'm in the store to buy pain relievers, I'll buy
I was
Tylenol.
choking down those like chalky old aspirins, and they'd work into the corner of his mouth, and he'd look like a horse that was frothing.
That dude's 100% on a list.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Special.
A Canadian list.
Pepsi wants you to see Michael Jackson live in concert in London, England. You could win
But don't go alone, and I think you know why.
a 5-day trip for 2 to exciting London in the Bad in Britain sweepstakes from Pepsi.
Has he burned his hair yet? I don't know. Probably not. He's still talking about Pepsi.
You and a guest will fly War Dare to London. War Dare, your choice for 8 UK destinations. Come to London, see Michael Jackson, and see how good bad can be. It's cool. The Bad in Britain
When did the
sweepstakes
Pepsi accident happen? Does anybody know? Probably after this
They
commercial.
were mighty hungry getting home that night. No ordinary
idea.
meal would do them right. She needed something hearty. Beef noodle hearty.
Hamburger helper.
Noodles and beefy sauce good. They all loved it.
Hamburger helper.
Hearty.
After the burn? Seriously.
Makes a great meal.
Which is cocaine.
You're not a little nervous.
I need to be dry, but I also need to be speedy.
So if you want to,
Soft
Soft and dry antiperspirant wide oval solid. Stay
Okay, another thing about the 80s is like people are always grabbing and sharing personal toiletries and shit.
Yeah, it was weird.
Knock that off, people. Like when friends of mine would share a soda in high school or junior high and like they would drink out of the same can, I go, no thanks. You know, I love you guys. I don't want whatever you've got. Herpes.
cool, soft and dry.
Hamburger Helper has a very interesting history if you look it up. If you're one of those weirdos who likes the history of Hamburger Helper.
On Friday, October 26th, when you take a shot at the provincial fall bonus draw.
That was a shotgun. She's gonna like blast her head off, but it's just a
A shot at 55 bonus prizes of $55,555 plus 5
Do you get it?
shots
The gimmick
of
is fives.
$500,000 over 5 weeks, all in one ticket. The provincial
All than 5 tickets would have been. This is like Klaus's dad.
fall bonus draw. Friday, October 26th. Take your best shot.
With fish, chicken, steak and tomatoes, give 'em a break from potatoes. The answer, of course, left to noodles and sauce they go, side by side in just 7 minutes from pot to plate. Rich, saucy noodles that taste so great. The right dish, of course, left to noodles and
I love creative editing in food commercials, right? Where there was obviously never food on that fork, but he had to put it in his mouth a little bit to go like, Like, it's the same way when I see them drinking coffee on SVU or eating anything anywhere, where, like, you know, Elliot Stabler's, like, pulling that top off. So he's not worried that he's spilling. He's, like, drinking it and make sure it doesn't spill and puts it back on there. Dry as a fucking bone and light as a feather, and you can tell that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just hilarious to me. We're like, that, like, okay, stick the fork in your mouth like 1/8 of an inch, and when we yell action, pretend like you're eating some of the shit, and you go, noodles.
Where's the ketchup? Was that Sean Hayes?
Ketchup's back in Italy.
And now pasta and
Noodles and pasta. There we go. Finally, you fucking Canadians. Noodles and sauce. What kind of sauce? Don't ask. We got pasta and sauce too. Please don't cut your plates.
Incredibly fresh. Incredibly soft.
I was never a cream cheese fan. I don't know what you guys see in it. It's akin to pumpkin spice and all other weird shit.
Incredibly smooth.
More closer to sour cream.
Incredibly mild.
Put all over your melons.
Incredibly
Yeah, I didn't
delicious.
do that. It just goes on bagels. Or
Incredible.
Your Thomas English muffins filling
Yes.
all those nooks and crannies.
Well, no, my Thomas English muffins used to have just peanut butter, or my grandmother introduced me to peanut butter and butter on an English muffin when I was younger, and that was delicious. Salty with the peanut butter and the sweet and the salt and all the creaminess.
Right.
It was a
So
winner.
so imagine what you just said right there: the butter and the peanut butter, the creaminess or the sweetness and the salty. And then when I say pineapple and pepperoni on a pizza, and I go, because of the sweetness and the saltiness and the tanginess, you go, oh my God, I want to vomit myself inside out.
I was never against pineapple on pizza with pepperoni and olives.
Everybody was. Everybody who's sitting here now is against me. You're Wollongating me and you're non-pineappling me. Just do it. Like, do yourself the favor, people. Get a pineapple and pepperoni pizza. Throw some olives on there if you want to get saucy. But it's a zillion times better than pineapple and Canadian bacon, because what the fuck is that? Or Hawaiian bacon or whatever you want to call it. Just do it. Just do it. It'll solely serve to make your life better. Would I lie?
Brand cream cheese from Kraft. It's just incredible.
Grilled Charlie.
Cut to dude running cream cheese all over his face. Are you talking about Kenny versus Spenny by any chance?
Oh, God.
Maybe.
I feel I do better when I look my best. And I know I look my best since I discovered the secret of caring for my skin with oil of Olay. Each rich drop penetrates to help improve the tone and texture of my skin. It's never greasy.
It makes my
Oil
face
of
as
Olay
moist
is
as a
the
Duncan
only
Heights
one I
cake.
trust to help keep my skin looking silky soft, younger. How old do you think I am?
48?
It never says her age, so you'll never know.
Look at your house. You look old.
The phone left me alone. Ain't that a shame? You're gone again. Ain't that a
Where the fuck are these people?
You know the answer.
They're in their waterbed.
Chasing your phone is a shame when Bell makes adding another so affordable. Whether you rent or buy.
Who's chasing their phone? These are all people who have been raptured. Like they left in the middle of meals and hobbies and shit. Chasing your phone?
For another Bell phone.
Why are you chasing your corded phone? It's hooked to a wall.
Sims? What's this? It's a box of...
Thomas, you're insane.
Pineapple punk.
You don't know what you're fucking talking about. It's a matter of principle, I guarantee. If you're like, you're not saying it from a place of experience. If you've tasted the saltiness and the savoriness of the pepperoni mixed with the spicy tang of a pineapple, mixed on a pizza with all that cheese and sauce, and the sauce has to be good. I mean, what the fuck else are you looking for in life?
It's a red rose tea, sir, from Canada. Yes, I can see.
Thank you, Ren Maxwell.
It says nude tea bag. Very
Nude tea
observant,
bags.
sir. Apparently, it lets the flavor.
Aren't these the assholes who were talking about the lottery earlier?
Yeah, and he was hitting him with a
Yes, but that's
cane.
it all, Sims. I thought it was perfect as it was. And
Now go buy me some lottery
tickets.
tickets.
with one tea.
Red Rose. More than ever, the perfect cup of tea.
More than ever.
If these were all the coffee beans in the world, how many would be good enough for nabob? Well,
For nabob.
if they're not quite ripe, they're not for nabob.
We're going to push these onto the floor because I don't actually clean the floors here, so fuck you cleaning stuff. Some poor little Cuban lady's going to come in at like 9:30 that night and be like, oh my God, just like coffee beans all over the fucking floor.
Them out. They're definitely not for nabob. Nabob only buys the beans that meet nabob's strict
Now they're
standards
rich. Oh yeah,
for
they won the
flavor
lotto and
and
now they're
aroma. Many are picked.
snooty.
Only a precious few are chosen.
Such a small.
Yeah, the rest go to Folgers and Maxwell Health, those scuds bucket scum fucks that are the ragu and what's the other one? Ragu and Prego of the coffee world. That's Folgers and Maxwell House.
Do Canadians just
killed by a pineapple?
Oh my God. Do Canadians just drink coffee out of teacups?
Here's the thing. They have a lot more English commercials or British people in their commercials than we did. So maybe, I don't know. Canada's weird. Maybe they had a stronger tie to the United Kingdom because, a lot of them speak French. But I don't know. I'm not Canadian.
The rest just don't measure up.
They go on my nads.
And for nads.
CBC. Sometimes there's a lot of rough country between where you are.
P.S. They had to discontinue those three-wheeled ATVs right there because kids would flip their shit because they're wildly unstable, obviously. The reason why those shitty Can-Am Spyders put the two wheels up front is because you won't flip over as easy that way. A triangle is a very sturdy shape. However, when the point is at the front and you take a turn any which way, unless you know how to do it, and especially with those old dude trikes that are all over the road, unless you know how to do that, you're going to flip your shit and die.
But tricycles for kids were always the first thing.
You're not doing 50. Like these things, like you can't, like a child on a trike isn't going to reach speeds that when he whips that wheel to the right is going to throw his ass off and snap his neck. Like the amount of injuries and lawsuits, and there's a whole like Ryan F9 if you follow like the motorcycle side of stuff episode about it. But yeah, like unless you know how to ride one of those as a stunt rider, you will die by one.
And where you want to be.
Maxwell House is where Ryan Maxwell's
That's
family
why
money
Honda
comes
invented
from.
the
Oh, I
ATC.
bet. I wish I came from Coors House.
Do they make Prager's tomato sauce?
The Honda ATC.
I don't want to get Prager's. I want to get Raguzzi's.
Got any rough country around?
P.S. That's the thing. These vehicles were marketed to like season-round hunters and farmers, so that you could like put all your shit in there and go through all of the terrains of your farm or out in the woods or whatever. But they weren't meant to go super fast. That's the problem.
Highway speeds.
They were never meant to be what they were forced into. And P.S., like if you're going to travel along a road, you want your wheels to be in one line or in two. If there's a problem with the path, you're going to not be able to avoid it because with one wheel in the center and two on the side, there's nothing you can fucking avoid. So it's a pain in the ass. That's why these things are meant to crawl over the terrain and shoot elk. They're not meant to like be given to an 8-year-old so he can roll it and snap his spine in it.
Found your place.
Yeah, that's what they were writing in Ernest Goes to Camp. It's one of those. Yeah, that's the thing. It was, I think, in Ernest Goes to Camp, his little go-kart thing was a 3-wheeled monstrosity. You know, you let that thing run wild and it eventually blows up. But even then, you can't kill it.
Give me a clip dick. Top ups.
Give me a clip dick?
Light handles, please. Suction's over the top now. Is she okay, John?
Suction is over the
How much
top.
blood do we have on hand?
4 units.
Let's have the skin knife, please. Can I start? Sponge, please. Go ahead. Fine.
Prefer to Justice was Steve Buscemi trying to fit in with the kids. Nobody said preggers in the 2000s.
Right. I'm like, hello, fellow kids.
What's the best thing about good-looking secret?
Look at that skirt. She didn't get the memo to not wear bright pink.
We're all shooting in these weird voids of just like indeterminate color. And it's just like, okay, everybody, we'll just shoot it wide and flat. Try not to look awkward and cross your fingers. And like everybody just looks like awkward. Like this is the worst family photo. And here's like the angsty middle daughter with the tattoos who's like, I don't want to fucking be here. This is the over exuberant mom. This is the uncle who's going to snap like right after the camera is called his cut. There's the dad who's dead behind the eyes and doesn't realize his wife is being banged by the angry uncle.
That's just a sweater under her t-shirt.
Be eligible to win
Good
a
looking
CKND t-shirt by sending your answer with your name,
It's like
address,
they all
and
have
phone
the same haircut, but with varying lengths.
Class photo.
180, 603 St. Mary's Road, Winnipeg, R2M 485. And watch
Where do you
Magic
live?
the morning, 8:45
R2M.
a.m. and CKND
Look at all these
magazine at
letters,
11:30 a.m.
gang.
Weekdays when lucky letters will be shared. The good-looking CKND t-shirt fits all shapes and sizes.
Whose idea was it to shoot the back of the t-shirt? Who thought it would be a good idea to like just run a camera along a line of backs, right? Come on, Canada.
To keep you good-looking too.
They're all letters to
Oh,
Santa.
they're all ugly except for this lady.
She's the only one that wore
Pull that
a short
bra
skirt.
off, honey.
Harrison Ford, Kelly McGillis. Witness.
Murder.
Next.
Good commercial.
Canadian television. Well,
Witness.
You know, it's coming up next. That's all you need to know. It's a special movie.
Here, we're gonna watch the movie now.
Sinus pressure can be like a Canadian winter.
Clean.
The girl with the reddest face.
Crisp.
Is this Molson?
Cold.
No, go back to blue, right? Just show me the beer.
Hey. Right out of the ice.
Blue light.
That's almost 5%.
Great news from Sears. This week,
We're out
the
of
star of
business.
our show is a Craftsman Gasmore at $349.99. Our
In
versatile
80s
more
dollars?
converts from a rear bag to a side discharge model. That's more.
Craftsman
great news
sold at
from
Sears.
Jeep Cherokee.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing. I guess wherever you're from is going to make sense to you because you grew up with it. But when you see a mix of like alphanumeric and alphabet and like, it's like MJPQ, like in the U.S., it's like the place, the city, the state, and then like a number.
Right.
Everywhere else, it's like, here's a place, the municipality. It's not quite a state, it's a province. And here's some letters, some numbers, all the marshmallows that come in Lucky Charms and a piece of Trick cereal. And then, in 7 to 10 days, they'll go like, well, it made it to Puerto Rico.
Cherokee has available four-wheel anti-lock brakes. The most powerful engine in its class.
177
Full-time
horsepower.
four-wheel
Wicked.
drive capability. And room.
Could you imagine unleashing 177 horses? I mean, most commuter cars put that out nowadays.
Sears, we dare you to try and find us.
Make
Hey, there's 2 Kmart's out there.
in these areas.
I had a Jeep Cherokee. Terrible car. Not terrible in like it was unreliable or anything, but it's built with the aerodynamics of a billboard. So you're constantly just burning gas simply because like you decided to drive a loaf of bread.
I had to drive a Jeep Cherokee, like a friend's, because he was too drunk to drive himself back to his house. And the steering wheel, completely different from my Passat, wherein like it was so loose. It was
Well, yeah, because it was probably old and the steering was old, but-
insane.
Yeah, it like if you're a manual transmission driver, you'll probably have these experiences too, where you step into one car versus another, where like the car I have now, the clutch is so light and the stick shift so small, it's almost like I'm just picking the teeth of a giant. Whereas like I remember in my truck or like my friend's dad's Bronco, like the stick shift was 4.5 feet long. It was like the size of a Gandalf walking cane. And the distance you had to cover from first to second was measured in feet.
Oh, yeah.
The Corolla I have now goes boop, 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 boop. You know, within the same 3 inches square, you got 1 to 6.
Even when I first met you, you had that white pickup truck.
Yeah.
That stick was super long, too.
Yeah. What's up with that? I want to see, like, and you can't even buy manual transmissions anymore, but I want to see bigger, bolder, like, badass transmissions. Yeah, I was a friend of O.J. Simpson and Al Cowlings. I was like, can I borrow that Bronco? I've got a piece of footage I need to get on the air.
Swimsuit cuts are one of the best indicators of a decade in the fashion.
Totally.
Starting with breakfast. The Special K breakfast is only 230
Here's a pitcher of milk.
low in fat, and a good source of dietary protein. So one reason for starting breakfast with Special K is
All of our
rather
foolish ideas of like just eating 300 calories a day because we thought calories were the thing. Like, look past nutritional value and the macrobiotics of everything. Just be like, well, it's calories. Like, if you only live by calories, like drinking 8 ounces of olive oil is just as good as like having a balanced breakfast. Like, calories. Fucking. Well, the dawn of crunch, finally. So Mr. Peanut was born. God, Kraft?
Crunchier than in the beginning.
That's
Why
hilarious.
would there be teddy bears on them?
Why would it say Kraft and then Kraft instead of Kraft peanut butter?
Also that.
Now we're actually going to watch The Witness by Harrison Ford.
Thank
Please
God.
get ready for this stream to be taken down for copyright. Let's enjoy, right?
Getting dressed. It's girls' night out.
Where?
What'd you do today? Oh, the usual.
Spilled soup on Grandma.
She's dead.
What did you do?
Oh, went to
Worked?
work, played squash, that stuff.
Squash?
Campbell's tomato soup, made with tomatoes grown from our very own seedlings.
What do you want to do tonight?
What does that mean? Campbell's owns the seedlings? The fuck?
Nothing.
Once a Campbell's kid, always a Campbell's kid.
It was the size of a Gandalf walking cane. Yeah. Hello.
You can do anything but use the metric system.
Yeah, it was whatever. We need that badass shifter back in all of our... Here's the thing. I would probably buy a brand new, one of those new Ford Broncos, but I don't think Ford has budged on their manual transmission. Last time I was buying a car, I said, well, I walked into a Ford dealership and said, show me something with a manual transmission. They said, we don't do that anymore. I said, smell your asses later. I'm not a bitch. I'm going to drive a manual transmission.
Ah, the guy's just screaming in his shower.
Because he's got so much dial in his eyes, he's blind.
To keep you feeling
I just spray down these people as they run over my vegetables.
Ooh.
Aren't you glad you had a banana? Whoa, deja vu.
One set, one Lego set connects together with another set, put them together, and once they've met, hey, that Lego grows.
Everything you see so far cost $780. You zestfully clean, John Dupre.
Another set, put them together, and you can play with a new toy, and
Manual transmission vehicles come with a free waterbed.
Hell yeah, they do. Because half the time they're in a van, you can pull those back seats out, and when that thing's rocking, no one will come and knock it. Because they'll think you're a sex pervert. Who drives vans nowadays, right? This feels a little bit like when Chris Chan made his high school out of all those Lego sets.
Jesus.
You guys remember Lol Cows? Let's talk about Lol Cows.
Each set sold separately.
What a weird commercial.
Ride the airwaves with all the hits that are radioactive.
Active on the radio.
The Go-Go's, Little River Band, REO Speedwagon, and Gary U.S. Barnes.
They're all so new.
Pat Benatar, Paul and Oates, Sheena Easton, and the
Hall and Oates.
Oldies.
Where's Men Without Hats? Or Men at Work?
From K-Tel, it's in
Who sang Land Down Under? Men at Work? Right? About like
Men at
Toto
Work.
with
Yeah,
Africa.
Men at Work.
Huge continents, people.
Doors now.
Whoa, it's Sting, the wrestler.
Glad has found a way to get more in your garbage bag.
Who does this guy look like? He's a
Gary
comedian. He has a very monotone voice. He was on Dr. Katz. Steven something. God damn. I got
McDaniel.
spilled spot remover on my dog, and now he's
Steve.
gone. Yeah, Steve, what's his name? Come on, guys. Jameson.
Stephen Wright.
Yeah, Stephen Wright. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you can't get the Mustang and manual, I would hope that America would call for Ford to shutter its doors forever. Anyone who wants to buy a sports car, here's the thing. Unless you're a lady and you're 16, I'll give you a pass if you want to buy like an automatic V6 Mustang. But if you want to pull your head out of your ass, why not get it with the 8 cylinders and a manual transmission? Because that's what it's there for, you fucking people.
Introducing new Glad garbage bags.
You can put Stephen
Made
Wright's
with super G
behind
plastic
body
that
in it.
Stretches and stretches.
P.S. What are we doing here? What is that red thing?
So Glad garbage bags
Oh, yeah, it is Stephen Wright as the crow.
can now hold more.
It's a good
than
call.
ever
It's a
before.
good call.
New Glad garbage bags. The stretch of Super G plastic makes them hold more.
It's Rich Little.
No, that was Peter Graves. But why was Stephen Wright the mime trying to get rid of an unclear red object out of a public bird fountain at the behest of Peter Graves from the beginning of the end?
You grew up with a taste for corn, made the Kellogg's
I grew up with the taste for corn.
crunchy golden flakes taste better every day.
It's a Canadian thing.
Never outgrow it.
Yeah, the Canadian crow was Stephen Wright.
We're going to a 60s party.
A balloon? Bullshit.
Yeah, you know, like the Birds, the Lovin' Spoonful, Hot Town, Summer and...
Yeah, P.S. It's the 80s. The 60s were only 20 years ago. Their music is still in the air. We're familiar with the Birds, the Beatles, the Monkees, the Turtles. Shut the fuck up. It's over there,
Hey,
right?
Mr. Tambourine Man, Sonny. Lord, is my heart moving on a Sunday afternoon.
All right, just get. How much is the compilation?
In fact, 16 original recordings on Super 60s from Polystar, so you know it's...
Yeah, and you know this kid who's like 16 in the commercial and wasn't alive during the 60s is getting blown away by all these great hits.
Right.
You're sick, got it? Get it.
Hilarious.
Good vibration.
To help you stay healthy, exercise, eat wholesome foods, and watch the calories.
Your dog will carry your
Introducing
newspaper.
Metolite, calorie-reduced butter.
Are you watching
All
those
the great
calories?
taste of regular butter, but only half the calories.
How foolish we were.
New Metolite spreads nice and smooth, straight from the fridge.
It's 80% rapeseed oil. Why aren't we saying that in the commercial? I don't know. It's kind of off-putting, isn't it?
With all the great taste of regular butter,
But only half the calories.
Metolite, new from Maple.
Your body runs on calories and your brain is made of cholesterol. Stop giving it shit that it doesn't need.
Spread the word.
80s people
Listen to an American original.
in Canada. Whoa, Kenny Rogers.
to Kenny Rogers.
This is before he became an Asian. Like he and Roseanne both got like wild plastic surgeries, and she came out looking just like a wider-eyed version of white trash, and he came out looking like what's his name? The guy Miyazaki from Spirited Away.
Oh my God!
You look like Miyazaki.
Here's a great new Lifetime music collection.
Maybe that was his change of life. Like he was Kenny Rogers, got plastic surgery, and then became like Miyazaki and made like Howl's Flying Castle and Spirited Away, classic.
Sweet Music Man.
Princess Mononoke.
The biggest hits of America's favorite entertainer, Kenny Rogers.
If you squint down here, this looks a little bit like Japanese. Huh? Come on. You see that. The writing was on the wall.
36 very special songs featuring Kenny's most touching love ballads and
He's like the play school Chris Christopherson.
his unique stories in song.
Look at him. Tell me I'm
In
wrong.
this collection, you'll get songs from the early years and today's biggest hits. This
Hey, sing Coward of the County where his lady gets banged by all the dudes and he can't do shit about it. Go, Kenny, go.
collection is not sold in stores.
Look, he's just like sitting down, drunk off his ass. He's like, I'm not going to stand anymore. I'm not going to hold the mic. He's falling asleep.
Kim Carnes and Dottie West. You got to know when the
He did Islands in the Stream with Dolly Parton, right? Nope, that was Chris Christopherson.
Sweet Music Man, available on 3 LPs,
Sweet
3
Music
8-tracks, or 3 cassette tapes. New from
I'll take Burl Lives over Kenny Rogers any day of the week.
Lifetime Records.
But I'm not
Call
a
now
punk
for
bitch.
prompt delivery.
There is Ruby!
COD.
What? You're not gonna...
Just
Hello,
Ruby.
it's about a guy whose wife or girlfriend is a prostitute. That's why he's singing to her. He's like, Ruby, don't take your love to town. But someone's got to bring home money. And like, there's, horrible violence in the song. And I think he or she dies in the end.
Oh, jeez.
Written by the Bee Gees? That's insane.
Wow.
Oh, was Kenny and Dolly? Okay. Weird.
And credit card customers.
I thought it was
call
Chris.
1-800-268-6255. That's
$3 shipping and handling.
Or to
No
save
COD.
charges, send $19.95 plus $3 shipping and handling to Kenny
Roxanne,
Rogers.
you don't
PO
have
Box
to put
470,
on the
Station R,
red light.
Toronto,
Yep.
Ontario.
Plenty of
M4G
prostitutes out there in the
4E1.
song world.
Every now and again, my wife tries to palm me off with a bag of these ordinary cookies.
Ordinary
Why
crisps.
should I choose one of these, I say?
Oh, I'll get a little
I can have
Sharpay.
a classic Peak Freens. Peak Freens are far from ordinary. Carefully
Cookie, it's just a cookie, but Newton's is fruit and cake.
crafted, detailed, and unlike these boring lumps, Peak Freens have a superb, rather delicate taste. No, when I want a treat, I prefer something a little more distinguished. After all,
And here's the thing. We've seen a bunch of shitty packaging, and this could be a real product from the 80s.
It probably is. It's those Miss Chrissy's crispy cookies from the
Ordinary
beginning.
Cookies. Whatever. Back when I would eat junk food, I would take a box of ginger snaps to the head, and they would oftentimes look like this. Sometimes it would say just like depressing cookies, but they'd just be ginger snaps.
after all, they say,
The dog just yoinked a
you are
cookie.
what you eat.
Nom, 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 nom.
Everything service is we are. When you buy your Yamaha snowmobile from us,
Here's the thing, you guys. If you're going to get into riding two wheels, you got to get a motorcycle, whatever, give this some thought, because if I had the money, I would throw it at this. If I just had $3,000 lying around with no other use, I would step into like a mid to late 90s Honda Goldwing, because those engines will go over 200,000 miles. They're only owned by old people who are fussy and take care of them. And so you can step into a pretty good bike with a pretty good stereo system and like anti-lock brakes and cruise control and heated seats and shit for a song. Sure, you'll look ridiculous, but it'll be like the most comfortable riding of your life.
you get service. From the
Shoji
showroom to the
Tabuchi,
shop.
thank you. That's what I was trying to pull earlier, Jameson. Shoji
People
Tabuchi.
keep your Yamaha humming.
Red
Our
Letter Media
computerized
fan.
parts inventory and overnight courier service means we can fix any snowmobile, and we fix it right or we fix it free.
Or one of our employees will shave off their mustache.
Kayla has a non-electric razor scooter. Does that count as getting into riding something with two wheels?
It's got to have a combustion engine over 50 cc's before I'll acknowledge it. But everybody on the scoot path, they'll throw down deuces for you. Holy golly with all the hullabaloo. They're walking into a vaporwave painting.
It's like a retirement commercial.
What does that mean? When it's time to take your time.
Yeah, a retirement.
When it's right, but I would not. Here's the thing. When I write something and I find that I'm going to have to use the same word over and over again, or like something similar, what I'll do is I'll go, whoa, I just used that word a sentence ago. Let me rack my brain because I probably know some synonyms.
What would you use for that? When it's time to take your time. When it's time to relax.
I'm not writing this song and I'm not getting paid. I'm not going to worry about it. However, and I want to throw shade because, again, Sloth This, that album right there, Eric Daniels rhymes credit with credit. Sure, it's a homonym. It's two different types of credit. That doesn't come across when you say it.
This would be an ED commercial in the 2000s.
Oh, yeah, just like cyan and pink smoke blowing out of his limp ding-dong.
Instant candle. What'd that say? Coffee or candle? Encore now.
Yeah, it's definitely not instant candle.
That was confusing.
Whoa! They're introducing Burger Time.
Oh my god, that was at my orthodontist office.
Burger Time's hard as hell, people.
Taste for revenge. Eggs that don't turn over easy. And pickles that are very, very sour. Now for Intellivision, coming this fall.
Intellivision, god damn, guys.
The only good part of my orthodontist office was their big Burger Time game.
Hi, my husband bet me that you couldn't fix our car.
My husband bit me.
Models are a Speedy Muffler King specialty. In fact, the mate to your imported car is being fitted with a new muffler as we speak. Yeah, but my
Maybe you noticed that's your car over there. It's one of the two in the showroom.
car's special. Rest assured, Speedy Parts is so good, we guarantee the muffler for as long as you own your car. You win.
He's taking me out to dinner.
Somewhere special, I trust, sir. Since everyone...
Wait, you brought her back into the muffler shop to tell me you're taking your wife out to dinner, sir? Are you having problems at home?
comes to Speedy as a somebody, and a somebody expects the best.
There's a beat in this land, it's there in all we do. That's why hands across the country.
Pontiac!
Reach for the blue, and when we get together, there's a taste that's pretty nice.
Is this a Bud? Coors?
It's gonna be Labatt's
it's
again.
Obviously, it's beer.
The blue. It's the Labatt's 5% beer.
We're in Canada. Where's Molson? Where's Moosehead?
Wrong area of Canada. They've got cowboys.
From Sears. This week, the star of our show is a Craftsman Gasmore at $349.99. Our versatile mortgage.
It hangs out in the same white void as every other person and every other product you've ever seen here in Canada.
A rear bag to a side discharge model. That's more.
Watch out for my side discharge. Got a Rube Goldberg device for my Oreos.
No, it's gonna be that weird named one.
Hydrox?
Hydrox.
No,
it's Oreo.
Hydrox doesn't have commercials.
Plop.
Just eat your cookies, god damn it.
Oreo, another Mr. Crispy cookie with something good inside.
What?
Interesting question, which is of interest to us all at this point.
Got the itch. Scratching, catching.
What the fuck?
Scratching is catching in the instant lottery.
Match 3 sweets.
The lady's dressed like a pilgrim.
Okay. Just real quick, again, with the context, like if I were to recut that and just change the music to like any of the songs from any of the Texas Chainsaw Massacres, you'd be like, yeah, they're off to like be a crazy cult family and murder and eat someone.
It's like the Purge, like a Purge thing.
Yeah, I know Hydrox came before Oreo, but nobody cares, right?
I'm
it's
disturbed.
like Kodak invented the first digital camera. Where are they?
It's the Peacock family.
Gives you a chance
That's
to
who those
win
people
$1
are.
million. Scratch and match 3.
Constantly
You could
scratching
win
each
up to
other's
$10,000
butts.
instantly. And if you match 3 sweep symbols, you've got a good chance at $1 million.
People have Mad Hatter syndrome. You think Hydrox is better than Oreo? I mean, I don't know. I don't eat that stuff, but I'll take your word for it. I'm all about the underdog. I'm a Pepsi man over Coke, and even that, I'm an RC man over Pepsi. Ugh. Another thing 80s did is like they will take like generic products like cereal or ice cream or Tang or whatever, and they'll throw a commercial at you that'll be like 1 second a infant, a 6 to 8 month old child enjoying the product, and then immediately smash cut to like a super hot lady licking it like a hard phallus, and then go like deal with that emotion, people. How do you feel? You just saw a baby and your heart was warmed, and now there's someone filleting an ice cream cone. How do you feel? It's the 80s. Yo, if you can find a place, there's a place in downtown Mesa. They still sell not cherry, but the regular RC Cola on, the fountain. And they've got that delicious, tiny little cube, like pea
the
ice.
Sonic Ice.
Yeah, but it's even smaller than Sonic Ice.
Mhm.
It's a magical experience. Of course, if you eat the food, it's terrible and you get diarrhea. But
just go in there for the soda.
Some things you do for the experience, and you're going to pay the price later. No Jolt. Sorry, I had Josta Cola.
The name that's on the tip of everybody's tongue.
I'm a Lipton tea bag, short and stout. Here is my hand.
You listen there with Thing.
When I spy a teacup, then I shout, dip me in rich flavor.
Wow, that's really unappealing.
Yeah.
He just dips his genitals into your drink there.
I'm gonna teabag your tea.
And water flows through me, not just around, so every delicious drop of flavor gets
Tastes like
out.
balls.
Lipton is delicious.
Dip me in
Now
rich
go in and ruin the rest of your tea bags, you fucking bitch. He's wet as hell.
New from Lipton.
Some people say that the honest, old-fashioned taste will always be the best taste. That's why
It's like steampunk grannies. These are like the lady equivalents of the bakers from Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
spaghetti sauce.
They're making pasta sauce.
The goodness ingredients and old-fashioned care. For that honest,
He had diarrhea in her tea, just like that viral video of that girl in the hot tub, and you know what I'm talking about.
I'm glad I
Some
don't.
people who say they can't make things taste like they used to can eat their words.
Now they can stop beating the servants.
And mildly spiced, garlic, and hot and spicy. Cacciali.
I don't know why some flavors exist. Mild and medium, for instance. Anything that has a mild or a medium is for pussies, and you shouldn't eat the foods that are available. All right? Don't. Just don't. Like, no mild salsa. Don't even go with the medium salsa. Go hot, habanero, anything like with like some sort of flavor. But yeah, I realize you want to, whatever, like, get over yourself. If you want to eat smashed tomatoes, be a baby. Jesus.
When you make your living working with wood, you can count on Valspar Wood Care products to help you bring out wood's richness, polish its glow,
And put it in your mustache.
protect its beauty.
That's
Many
shellac
craftsmen
going.
use Valspar because they know
He puts it in his hair, too.
Yeah.
if you do too, you'll use Valspar.
Smoke this paintbrush.
Know what's good for wood.
It's like, I want to be able to chair.
She's just getting high off the fumes.
And he pulls a Cyrax on that paintbrush,
Oh
guys.
my god.
Cyrax.
No.
He put it in his butt.
Let's talk about lol cows for a second. So David, he works, from home now 4 days a week, and he's got a little TV in the studio with his desk. Every time I come in the studio, he is watching Cyrax, and he says that it's because of the tone of his voice is like one of those things you can drown out. I think he secretly loves watching Cyrax. videos.
I don't.
Period.
Here's the thing. I don't love Cyrax. I don't love what he does. I don't love who he is. There are so few people out there who can pump out content that is mildly interesting that I don't have to check in and know the lore of. And Cyrax complaining for hours on end is like that. It's a holding pattern for your mind. They're the only ones? Okay, so yeah, Cobra, I can check in for roughly 45 seconds a day. He's so fucking irritating. I can watch him do one of his e-baking streams or make a mead.
I can't believe he started doing that, making meads.
Again, like 45 seconds. I'll maybe watch one of the Boglum Chronicles a day, and even then, it'll be like, maybe I'll make it to the whole thing.
See, I could get through
Cobra's not good.
I could get through Cobra's stuff. Not that I will willingly look for it. If David puts it on, it's there. But Cyrax, I cannot. I just want to snap his neck. I just cannot handle him.
I don't know why Cobra irritates me so much, because all he does is low energy shit and beg for money. And I think that's what my problem is. I think it's him and his pay pigs. I don't like him, and I don't like his pay pigs. Whereas Cyrax gets nothing.
I don't like Marty. I cannot stand the Marty aspect of Cyrax more than how I can't stand Cyrax.
Whatever. You just have to sort of get into all the characters, and that's the thing. With Cobra, he doesn't have a Cobra verse. You know what I mean? Like Chris Chan had and has named villains. In Rax's universe, there are named characters. In Cobra... there's
people just buy him food.
There's Clint, his dad, and there's Warlord and all the people who are now gone. Like
those two other people.
Homeboy Ian or Cool Taste or any of those. Gonzo. They're all gone because he's just an obnoxious, annoying, smelly dude, and it's not fun.
Wasn't that Ellen? Wasn't that the girl that he liked and the parents and all that shit?
You can let that go if he can't. Jesus Christ. Forget about Ellen. She hasn't been a thing for 40 years.
Well, I never know which ones are new and aren't new that we watch.
R.I.P. Homeboy Scotty is for right. And yeah, he definitely killed that fucking bearded dragon.
Yeah.
Like, his story is like, I took him outside and he jumped off my shoulder and ran away. No, he poisoned him with tobacco, with weed, and with booze. Everybody saw it coming. There was nothing anyone can do to stop it. Cobra's the disease and I'm the cure. Yeah, I'm Marion Cobretti. You know what I'm talking about. I eat pizza with scissors. Don't worry, Ryan. Don't worry. The least you know, the better.
Yeah. I wish I knew less about lolcows. It all started with Chris Chan.
Or we can talk about,
let's talk about cars.
Johnny Elbows, Boogie 2988. We could talk about
that girl.
Airsoft Fatty. Which girl?
Oh, the one that you had shown me. I don't know what her name was.
Classic. I don't know who you're talking about.
All right. I don't know either. I think
lolcow. Everybody knows Boogie.
Yeah, she was the one, she does makeup stuff, and she's a lolcow because I mentioned her to you and you were like, oh yeah, that's so and so. She's fucking annoying as shit.
Right, but there's so many.
I don't know what her name was or any.
Foodie Beauty is one.
I don't know what.
Tafia Chew is another.
That girl was a sitcom.
Papa Chew. That girl was Gary Busey.
Yeah.
Turns out.
Pomp, ceremony, and national pride closed the 1988 Winter Games in Calgary. I'm Everett Banning. The full story
I was born in '88.
On the World Tonight.
On the World Tonight.
Well, it's that time of year again. Time to lose that cabin fever at the 4th Annual Rod and Rifle Expo on February 24th.
I like turtles.
No. Okay, so he's a meme. Lolcows are institutions on the internet. They're not like a one and done. Like, you can maybe say, what's his name? Nico Demix, whatever that fucking dude's name is. Like, he had some lolcow moments. I wouldn't call him a lolcow, though. Like, he just had some embarrassing moments. Cyrax, Boogie, any e-bagger, Cobra, Johnny Elbows, the White Bowser, any of those people, like, that are just like fucking gross-ass e-baggers, they're lolcows because they have a community of trolls who milk them for laughs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, becoming viral and going, whatever, you can live off that 5 minutes of fame for a little while, but yeah, and typically, or like the the German guy, Dragon Lord, he got trolled way harder than Chris Chan.
That's crazy. Fosco says, it's crazy. YouTube threw your channel in. I recommend it because the 90s stuff I watch and you two are chill AF.
Hey, that's what we do. We're like the 90s themselves. Very cool. But yeah, that's the thing about, I don't know, the thing about lolcows is they have to be a source of perpetual, and they don't know why either.
Right.
Like when King Cobra is like, oh yeah, the trolls are, like when they sent him 900 door dashes in a night, or they sent the cops to his house or whatever, like he thinks that if he gets angry and freaks out, they win.
They win.
But as long as he doesn't get angry, he wins. So he'll eat a cat food sandwich, or he'll drink a gallon of chocolate milk mead and a fucking full packet of yeast and honey and sugar, from the gallon fermenter over, make food hacks and eat garbage and squid guts and eat burritos full of,
well, to him, he's winning because it's free food that he's...
Right, and that's the thing. And Cyrax doesn't understand his part either. They're both doing the things that their lolcows want them to do, but declaring that they're not giving their lolcows or their pay pigs, or because if you're a lolcow, we're just like, if you're a watcher, maybe you're a farmer, so you're not giving them the milk that they are trying to get out of there.
The yeasty sugar killed the remaining layer of enamel he had.
Oh yeah, no, the enamel was gone 4 years ago. He's got nothing. He's got like 2 pieces of brown rice for front teeth. Cyrax, he's from the Terminator. No, Cyrax is from the Mortal Kombat franchise. Obviously, you got to know that. It's like Mortal Kombat 3 or 4. He showed up along with Smoke. But no, Cyrax is the name he stole from a fellow rap artist from Killer Clown Sound Records. Guys, don't you know Cyrax lore?
But like Cyrax doesn't have pay pigs like Cobra does. It's like like a different aspect.
There are pay pigs for Cyrax. They just come in different ways because they have to be sly about it. They'll send him products. They won't necessarily hit him up on his Cash App, but they'll send him keyboards or computer components or shit like that.
Oh.
So whereas Cobra will get DoorDash orders or whatever comes to his mailbox, or like that Malort liquor, or whatever, the glitter bombs,
bags of like tampons and stuff.
Cobra gets on and crosses his arms like an angry toddler, and the chat roasts his ass. He's like, I'm not upset, I'm just going live because I felt like going live. I don't have any beer. Somebody put some money in my PayPal. And these fucking scum fucks throw $1,000 a whack at him, and then he goes out and drinks himself to death, and I go, eh.
90s Power Rangers villain.
Kind of, right? He is kind of. He's like when was it Lord Zed, right? After Rita Repulsa, Cyrax would be one of Lord Zed's like C-tier henchmen. Like Lord Zed had the no, because Rita Repulsa had Goldar. Zed had 2 other ones, but the dog's body to one of Lord Zed's right-hand man would be Cyrax.
If you've never seen Cyrax, imagine if a faulty AI was asked to create Golem.
Right.
He lives in a tiny bedroom.
And he's covered in bugs, and his skull is always covered. I mean, whatever. We don't need to talk about it. I feel like we've gone through enough. We've been doing this for over 2 hours. We've gone through lots of 90s Canadian commercials. I appreciate you if you came by. I hope you stick around for more. Maybe subscribe. Also, remember, we've got our second channel where we do homebrew, meads, and wines and stuff. That's Meading of the Minds.
Yeah, but you might not be able to search for it yet. I'm going to put it in the chat.
If you can type in Meading of the Minds, it'll probably come out because that's how I find it.
Meeting?
Mead, as in not meat, but mead, because we make mead.
I know, but I couldn't find it.
I'm telling them.
Oh.
The people listening. I know you know it. We set up the channel. If I were to tell you that, you'd be like, why are you telling me that like you just did? And I would go, I'm not. The thing in front of me is the camera, and this is a microphone, and there are people listening. Thank you, Fosco, for the sub. Again, check us out over on there. So until next week, maybe we'll do some more games. You can get your name up here in lights like Ryan Maxwell. He's running out of sticker room, so I hope he doesn't win much more.
I might have to remake his thing and make it wider.
That's Mead is in the paper company.
Yes, Mead.
Dare you. Meeting of the Minds. So we'll see you next time on another episode of FFOP Radio, or you can catch us on the other channel or whatever. You guys know how the internet works.
Bye.
For this, try to.
Fistful of Podcasts Radio.